What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I appreciate you guys bringing your time and attention here because you could bring it anywhere, and for some reason, you guys choose to bring it here. So, thank you guys all for tuning in. All right, so today we are talking about women's hoe phase. And to start the show, I really wanted to read my best friend in the entire world, Rollo Tomasi's article talking about women's reproductive schedules and of mating. And I thought this was such a good article to sum up why women have hoe phases and why at times hoe phases do benefit women. This isn't what I wish to be true. Before I get into it, this isn't what I wish to be true. This is not what I hope to be true. But a lot of women find love during a hoe phase. I got to be honest. Here. I've seen it. I'm not prescribing this, but I will tell you the benefits and the cons. All right. So, Rollo Tomasi wrote this article in 2011 called The Schedules of Mating. There are methods and social contrivances women have used for centuries to ensure that the best male's genes are selected and secured with the best male provisioning she's capable of attracting. Ideally, the man should exemplify both, but rarely do they exist in the same man, particularly these days. So he's starting off talking about alpha fucks, beta bucks. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. Yeah, I'll go this way. Okay. So, in the interest of achieving her biological imperative and prompted by an innate need for security, the feminine as a whole had to develop social conventions and methodologies to effect this. Men are not only up against a female genetic imperative, but also centuries-long feminine social conventions established and adapted from a time long before human beings could accurately determine genetic origins. I've detailed in many prior threads that mate selection is psychobiological function that the millennia of evolution has hardwired into both sexes. So, internalized and socialized is the process into our collective psyches that we rarely recognize we're subject to these motivators, even when we continually repeat the same behaviors manifested by them, such as having a second kid with the alpha fucks bad boy. So, it's like, when you see that single mother and she just keeps having kids with these criminals, well, that's the alpha fucks guy. Her biological imperative is to get the best genetics possible for her kids. So saying that we're not subject to conditions we're to conditions we are only vaguely aware of is a bit naive. It's simple deductive logic to follow that for a species to survive, it must provide its offspring with the best possible conditions to ensure its survival. Either that or to reproduce in such quality that it ensures survival. The obvious application of this for women is sharing parental investment with the best possible mate her own genetics allow her to attract, and who can provide long-term security for her and any potential offspring. Thus, women are biologically, physiologically, and sociologically the filters of their own reproduction, whereas men's reproductive methodology is to scatter as much of his genetic material as humanly possible to the widest available quantity of sexually available females. He, of course, has his own criteria for mating, selecting, and determining the best genetic pairing for his reproduction. She's got to be hot. But his criteria is certainly less discriminating than for women, i.e., no one's ugly after 2 a.m. This is evidenced in our own hormonal biology. Men possess between 12 and 17 times the amount of testosterone, the primary hormone in sexual arousal. Women do, and women produce substantially more estrogen, instrument in sexual caution, and oxytocin, fostering feelings of security and nurturing than men. That stated, both of these methodologies conflict in practice. For a woman to best ensure the survival of her young, a man must necessarily abandon his method of reproduction in favor of her own. This sets a contradictory imperative for him to pair with a woman who will satisfy his methodology. A male must sacrifice his reproductive schedule to satisfy that of the woman he pairs with. Thus, so much potential genetic or th- Thus, with so much genetic potential at stake on his part of the risk, he wants not only to ensure that she is the best possible candidate for breeding and future breeding, but also to know that his progeny will benefit from both parents' investments. A side note is one interesting outcome of this psychobiological dynamic is men's ability to spot their own children in a crowd of other children more quickly and with greater accuracy than even their mothers. Studies have shown that men have the ability to quickly and accurately identify their own children in a room full of kids dressed in uniforms than the mothers of the child. Again, this stresses the subconscious importance of the genetic trade-off. There are rudiments of human sexual selection and reproduction. There are many social, emotional, psychological um, intricacies that are associated with these fundamentals, but they are underlying motivations and considerations that subconsciously influence sexual selection. Okay, so I'm going to skip to the part where he talks about the genetic material. Oh, I actually know this part's good too. He is a great writer. To counter this subconscious dynamic to their own genetic advantage, women initiate social conventions and psychological schemes to better facilitate their own breeding methodologies. This is why women always have the prerogative to change her mind. And the most fickle of all behaviors become socially excusable, while men's behavior is constrained to a higher standard of responsibility to do the right thing, which is invariably to the advantage of a woman's reproductive scheme. This is why men who are players and fathers who abandon mothers to pursue their innate reproductive method are villains, and fathers who selflessly sacrifice themselves financially, emotionally, and life decision-wise often to the benefit of the children they didn't father, are considered heroes for complying with women's genetic imperatives. This is also the root motivation for female-specific social dynamics such as LJBF rejections, women's propensity for victimhood, as they've learned that this endangers the savior mental schemes for men's breeding schedules, Captain Sabaho, and even marriage itself. So there's good dads versus good genes. And so this is the problem that women face, right? The two greatest difficulties for women to overcome in their own methodology is that they are only at a sexually viable peak for a very short window of time, generally their 20s. And the fact that the qualities that make a good long-term partner, the good dad, and the qualities that make for good breeding stock, good genes, only rarely manifest themselves in the same male. Provisioning and security potential are fantastic motivators for pairing with a good dad, but the same characteristics that make him such are generally a disadvantage when compared with the man who better exemplifies genetic, physical attraction, and the risk-taking qualities that would imbue her child with a better capacity to adapt to its environment, i.e., stronger, faster, more attractive than others to ensure the passing of her own genetic material to future generations. This is the jerk versus nice guy paradox writ large on an evolutionary scale. Men and women innately, though unconsciously, understand this dynamic. So, in order for women to have the best that the good dad has to offer while taking advantage of the best that the good genes man has, she must invent and constantly modify social conventions to keep that advantage in her biological favor. This paradox then necessitates that women, and by default men, must subscribe to short-term and long-term schedules of mating. Short-term schedules facilitate breeding with the good genes male, while long-term breeding is reserved for the good dad male. This convention and the psychosocial schemes that accompany it are precisely why women will marry the nice guy, stable, loyal doctor, and still F the pool boy or the cute surfer she met on spring break. In our genetic past, a male with good genes implied an ability to be a good provider, but modern convention has thwarted this. has throttled this. So new social and mental schemes had to be developed for women. For this dynamic, and the practicality of enjoying the best of both genetic worlds, women find it necessary to cheat. This cheating can be done proactively or reactively. In a reactive model, a woman who is already paired with her long term partner chooses to engage in extramarital or extra pairing sexual intercourse with a short term partner, the cheating wife or girlfriend. That's not to say the short term opportunity can't develop into a second long term mate, but the action of infidelity itself is a method for securing better genetic stock than the committed provider male is capable of supplying. Proactive cheating is the single mommy dilemma. This form of cheating relies on the woman breeding with a good genes male, bearing his children, and then abandoning him or having him abandon her in order to find a good dad to provide for her and the children of the good genes partner to ensure the security. I want to stress again that most women do not have some consciously constructed and recognized master plan to enact the cycle and deliberately trap men into it. Rather, the motivations for this behavior and the accompanying social rationales invented to justify it are unconscious in the process. For most women, for the most part, women are unaware of this dynamic, but nonetheless are subject to its influence. For a female of any species to facilitate methodology for breeding with the genetic partner she's able to attract and to ensure her own offspring's survival with the best provisioning partner, this is an evolutionary jackpot. On some level, men innately sense something is wrong with the situation, though they may not be able to place why they feel it or they may misunderstand it in the confusions of women's justifications for it. Or they become frustrated by social pressures to do the right thing and are shamed into martyrdom. To a feigned responsibility to these conventions. Nevertheless, some see it well enough to steer clear of single mothers, either by prior experience or by observing other male cuckolds saddled with the responsibility of raising and providing for another man's successful reproduction efforts with this woman. Men often fall into the fall into the role of proactive or reactive cuckold. He will never enjoy the same benefits as his short-term partner's mates. He will never enjoy the same benefits as his mate's short-term partner to the same degree in the way of sexual desire or the immediacy of it, while at the same time enduring the social pressures of having to provide for this good genes father's progeny. It could be argued that he may contribute minimally to welfare, but on some level, whether it's emotional, physical, financial, or educational, he will contribute some effort for another man's genetic stock in exchange for a limited form of sexuality and intimacy from the mother. To some degree, he is sharing parental investment that should be borne by the short-term partner. If nothing else, he contributes the time and effort to her that he could be better invested into finding a sexual partner where he could pursue his own genetic imperative. Needless to say, there is no shortage of men sexually deprived enough to see past the long-term disadvantage and not only rewarding but reinforcing a single mother's bad decisions with regard to her breeding selections and schedules in exchange for short-term gratification. Furthermore, by reinforcing her behavior, he reinforces the social convention for men and for women. It's important to bear in mind that in this age, women are ultimately solely responsible for the men they choose to mate with and giving birth to their children. Men do bear responsibility for their actions, no doubt, but it's ultimately the decision of female and her judgment that decides the children's fate. Okay, let me read the other part. There's one more. How are you doing, guys? How you doing? Like the video on your way in. Thank you for being here tonight. Okay, this one. All right, I want to read these articles because I do think they're relevant to the topic today. And then we will get into the show. Okay. If you follow me on Twitter and are a semi-regular viewer of my show, Access Vegas, you've likely seen me be critical of what's known as the mate switching hypothesis. This hypothesis has Pro offered as an alternative or a counter to the prevailing hypothesis known as the dual mating strategy. Mate switching theory was popularized by the godfather of evolutionary psychology, Dr. David Buss, in 2017. The theory made its way into his 2021 book, Men Behaving Badly, which, in my opinion, was an effort in apologetics for conventional masculinity. This book's release conspicuously coincided with Dr. Buss's pre-selling his now defunct The First Date course in 2020. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I think I read most of the part. I'm going to read this part tomorrow. Okay. Welcome to the show. Like the video. So today we are talking about, do modern women have to have hoe phases to win? Now, before we get into the show, I need to clarify what winning is for women. Winning this is not what I wish it to be. This is not what I hope winning to be. But when we look at what women want, what women respond to, women want the best of both worlds, like it said in Rollo's article. We want alpha fucks, beta bucks into one guy. And occasionally, and if women have to pick, we know in their heart of hearts, women want to pick alpha fucks. Now, how do you know this? A lot of people, they say, Pearl, you're a doomer. Pearl, that can't be true. Pearl, you're so evil. Well, I simply look at what women respond to. I don't see women throwing themselves at accountants. I really don't. I see women throwing themselves at celebrities, entertainers, boxers, basketball players, streamers. I do not see women going to their local engineering station and saying, be with me, right? I would love to say that happens, but it's not really something I see. So let's look at some movie examples of this. We're going to watch some romantic. I hope we can watch this and not get copyright, because I mean, this is kind of playing with fire today, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right. I'm actually going to pull the music. Okay, but this is, let me cut this one. We got that guy, right? We got this one I think isn't as the copyright. That's got music. An example of a woman winning girl world. This is the average woman dating. Oh, here you go. Just, a bajillionaire rich guy in a suit with his own office who looks like a male model.
Miss Calvin.
And then, does some BDSM to her. This is 50 Shades of Grey, if you guys didn't know.
Christian Grey.
I'm Anastasia Steve.
And remember, these are some of the most popular female movies of all time. So I want you guys to look for patterns when we're seeing what is winning. What is winning to women? Okay.
Miss Kavanaugh has the flu, so she asked me to fill it.
I see. So you're studying journalism as well?
No, English lit. Kate's my roommate.
As I said, I only have 10 minutes. Please, have a seat, Miss Stone.
Ready?
Whenever you are.
Okay. So this is for the special graduation issue of the student newspaper.
Yes, I'm giving the commencement address at this year's ceremony.
You are? I mean, I know. You are
Okay.
very young to have.
All right. So that's the next love interest. Let me go pull up the next one. Then we got Twilight. I mean, this is a guy that could kill her and then chooses to not. You know what I mean? I just looked up love scene, you know. There he is. It's so romantic. This other Chad.
We're the same temperature.
And now look at, he made her a vampire too. She became a vampire for love. Okay, remember, these are the love stories women are watching. It's not an engineer. It's not an accountant. I'm sorry to you engineers and accountants out there. You really do keep society running, but I gotta really put into context how messed up we are as people. Like she could have, because whenever men talk about women winning, it's always monetarily, and women just don't care about money.
Something of a phoenix from the ashes.
All right.
I changed my mind.
Now here's Rose and Jack. I'm going to turn the sound off. Oh, look it. Oh, how romantic. Why aren't actors this hot anymore? I got to watch Zendaya on screen. When I used to see these two, like, geez, they are so attractive. Like, they both look like they are models, basically. Look at that. You know, she's going on the edge of a ship. Some guy tries to save her. Yeah. You like older men in the movies? Okay, well, we each have preferences. Okay. To reiterate this point even further, I am going to show you guys how much women hate beta bucks. Now, again, this is one of the most popular romantic films of all time. Of all time for women. So if you guys didn't know, Allie in this movie, I think, is this the same girl? I think it is. Maybe not. No. Allie in this movie, she's engaged in The Notebook, right? She is engaged to a rich guy. He's hot too, to be honest. They're both hot. But essentially, she's with him for the money, and she misses her high school boyfriend who she was with for love. And her mother tried to keep her and her high school boyfriend apart because he was kind of broke, right? And now the mother in this scene is telling the daughter about her love she married for money and status, and her love that she passed on.
Tell me about the letters, Mother. Is it true?
Yes.
You watched me cry myself to sleep for months and months, and you never said anything. How could you do that?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Yes,
You're
I am.
Sorry.
I am
because
sorry.
Because of you, my entire life is ruined.
Okay, yes, I stole your letters. It was wrong, but stop being dramatic and at least take some of the responsibility. You came down here. You knew what you were doing. You knew this would happen.
Oh, so now I'm a tramp. You are unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Go and get some clothes on. Let's take a drive.
Let's take a drive. Why would I want to go anywhere with you?
Because I might know you a little better than you think. And I don't want you waking up one morning thinking that if you'd known everything, you might have done something different.
What are we doing here, Mama?
Do you see that man there?
Remember, in all these popular female flicks, the mothers or there's old women telling these stories about their first loves. So there's this idea that women of the past were better, and I'm just really tired of hearing about it. Women of the past did the same BS. They just didn't really have the opportunity to leave. And a lot of them still cheated. Women have always been women.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it now, but 25 years ago. Oh my goodness, she was really something. We were out of our minds in love, let me tell you.
Wow.
Well, naturally, your grandfather was furious, so we decided to run away. We didn't even make the next town before the police picked us up. But that was then. Sometimes when I'm in the area, just stop here and I'll watch him.
Okay, so this woman, she's married. And she says, sometimes I'm in the area and I still watch this guy. Facebook and not being able to have access to people has ruined marriages. You used to break up with someone and never see him again. I agree. And this woman still thinking about that ex. But here's the thing. Women have pressures, right? They got to think about what their family thinks. They got, nowadays, you got to appease the group chat, the friend group. So women compromise on attraction for someone that'll fit into their circles and pay for their lifestyle. And a lot of the guys get cucked because it's not just the cuckoldry like with the kid. You also don't get the hot sex from the women. All women have hot sex to give. And if she's not giving it to you, I got bad news for you fellas. I got bad news for you. So I'm actually arguing that Hoe Phases benefit women's sexual imperative. They really do. There's a reason women are fighting for Hoe Phases. Women get genetic material or the excitement of alphas, and then the betas can pay for it. Women don't want to be with betas, right? Women have no inclination. We do not want to be with beta male men. We don't. You might not even actually be beta, but if she views you that way, you're cooked, right? So Hoe Phases do benefit women's imperatives because women can get the genetic material or the hot sex with the guys they want and then go to the betas that they would have had anyway later. Now, I'm not saying that this is a good thing, right? I am not saying this is moral. But I would say arguably it does benefit women's sexual imperative.
How different my life might have been.
She's crying. Remember, women love this movie. If your girl watches this movie, I got bad news for you.
I want you to know that I love your father. No, goddammit, this is important. You need to hear it. I do. He is a wonderful man. He is good to me, and I don't deserve him. I love him, Ellie. I do. I love him.
Yeah, now she's crying. There's another one. Now this is so she's trying to pick money or love. I love the high school boyfriend, but I'm engaged to this other hot guy, right? Who I actually thought the fiance was better looking. They were both fine. I won't lie to you. But how do I put this? Now she just banged the hot guy for like a weekend, and now she wants to go back to her husband. One in the chat if you've been the hot guy or the husband. And this is when I interview men about their numbers of like what percent of women want relationships. It always goes, for the most part, one of two ways. It's like they can't get the women to stick around they sleep with, or all the women want to date them. Oh wait, share this tab instead.
I see you got my letters. Finally. What are you going to do, Al?
I don't know.
We're back to that. Are we back there? What about the past couple of days? They happened, you know?
I know that they happened and they were wonderful, but they were also very irresponsible.
Remember, women love this scene. This is women's favorite scene, and I'm going to show you why.
I have a fiance waiting for me at a hotel who's going to be crushed when he
So
finds
you
out
make
what I
love
did.
to me, and then you go back to your husband? Was that your plan? Was that a test that I
No,
didn't pass?
I made a promise to a man. He gave me a ring and I gave him my word.
And your word is shot to hell now, don't you think?
I don't know. I'll find out when I talk to him.
This is not about keeping your promise, and it's not about following your heart. It's about security.
What is that supposed to mean?
Money!
What are you talking?
He's got a lot of money.
Now I hate you, you
Well, I
smug
hate
bastard.
you. If you leave here, I hate you.
What
Hey, you
have you
if
been
you leave
paying
here.
attention to anything that's been happening?
I guess not. I think I must have misread all of those
I
signals.
guess you did.
You're bored. You're bored and you know it. You wouldn't be here if there wasn't something missing.
Arrogant son of a bitch.
Would you just stay with me?
Stay with you. What for? Look at us. We're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. We fight. You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass, which you are 99% of the time. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. They have like a 2-second rebound rate, and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
So what?
So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. And we're going to have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want all of you forever, you and me, every day. Will you do something for me?
Simp. Sorry.
Please? You just picture your life for me? 30 years from now, 40 years from now? What's it look like? If it's with that guy, go. Go! I lost you once. I think I could do it again if I thought it's what you really wanted. But don't you take the easy way out.
What easy way? There is no easy way. No matter what I do, somebody gets hurt.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want?
It's not
What do you
that
want?
simple.
It's not that simple.
What
It-
do you want?
It's not that simple. Okay. There's a reason women relate to this stuff. Winning in girl world is marrying a guy for love and money. That's the number one draft pick. Second is love. Third is money. That's girl world winning. I don't make the rules. I'm just reporting the news. And we got to ask ourselves, the guys that have a lot of choice and have both, are they, waiting 10 dates to bang a chick usually? You know what I mean? Are they? Oh, sorry. This is the wrong one. Oof.
Damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
And a lot of women have this, it's the Katy Perry song. He was the one that got away, the one that wrecked my heart. I should have never let him go. I should have begged him to stay. I mean, All right, let's see the next one. Oh, this is when she makes choice in the book. And again, I'm not talking about morality, but strategically, I would say Hoe Phases benefit women.
In the story, which one did you choose?
Okay.
Oh my God. This is the it's like this guy is another Chad, right? And she says marrying him is for money, but that's important. That's an important distinction, right? Because alpha is a mindset. It is not looks. There are men that look really good that are blue-pilled.
So the way I see it, I got three choices. One, I can shoot him. Two, I can kick the crap out of him. Or three, I leave you. But all that's no good. You see, because none of those options give me you. And in spite of everything, I love you.
I love you too.
I meant what I said when I gave you that ring.
I did too. It's just that when I'm with Noah, I feel like one person, and when I'm with you, I feel like someone totally different.
Yeah, when she's with Noah, she feels like the whore she is. And when she's with him, she feels like a good person with status.
Look, it's normal not to forget your first love. I love you, Allie.
Why do they love her? She's not a good person. Because she's hot. Yep.
But I want you for myself. I don't have to convince my fiance that she should be with me.
You don't have to. I already know I should be with you.
And they lived happily ever after.
Who did? Oh, yes. Of course.
She came back and chose love. Female movie. Female psychology. I know you guys are saying this is stupid. Well, women are not guided by logic. You guys are logical. We're emotional. We're emotional. We're loyal to our feelings.
It was us. It was us.
Oh,
It was
darling.
us.
Oh, my sweetheart.
Oh.
I love you so much.
Okay, yeah, Seppi. All right, so are we clear on what winning is to women? Who does she choose in the real world? The money, obviously. That's why the women love these movies. All right, so we all know when women are young, women are throwing it back. Okay, we just have a tendency to go whore as hard as we can. Now, this doesn't mean all women will do this. Some women do it more, some women do it less. But with the social conventions we have in place, I mean, there's not a lot of reason to not whore. What porn stars are marrying Aryan Chads. And remember, it's It's about the genetic material. Okay? Not about being a successful, well-rounded guy. It's about the genetic material for women. That's winning first. Now, Charlie Kirk, I think I'm going to get flamed for this stream, but I got to be honest with this. He had a tweet that was quote tweeting this, okay?
If you could give a single girl some dating advice, what would you say to her?
How old?
Let's say she's like 21.
Oh, 21. Just bang them all. Bang them all, because men are so immature that you're not gonna lock anyone down. Don't even start thinking yet about the husband stuff. But I will say, bang dudes quietly. Don't tell everybody. Shut the up about it. Just go do your business. Bang girls, bang guys, bang dogs, trans, whatever you want. But keep an eye out for the good ones in your college.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, keep the solid dudes in your back pocket. Like, befriend them, but don't them or date them or nothing until you're kind of like older and you're ready to like settle down with a boy.
Yeah.
And then call that guy up, like that one you had your eyes on, and then be like, "What's up, dude?"
Okay. So Charlie Kirk had this tweet, and it said, "This advice will lead to a life of misery and sorrow." And on its head, I actually thought that he was right. You know, my first inclination, I think, when I was getting into this stuff was that waiting till marriage is the best strategy for women, that gets them what they want. And a hoe phase only leads to destruction. However, my parents, they've been married 30 years. Okay, they've been married a while. And to be honest, when I was 22, I found out they had an unplanned pregnancy when they were teenagers. And that kid, I had another brother that was given up for adoption. I had no idea. And I realized in that moment that my whole life I'd been taught chastity was the best way to get what you wanted. But my mom had a 30-year marriage that she got. The starting point was getting pregnant. And I told my sister, I said, why didn't you guys just tell us to go download Tinder and just get pregnant by, you know, a guy that seemed ambitious and just let him hit it raw? Now, I'm not saying that's the moral thing to do. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. But I got to be honest, I'm like, in this case, it worked, didn't it? And the more I realized how much of these conservative Christians, they never tell the real story of their dating. They never are really honest about it. They only tell the parts of the story that support what they want. You know, they want their religion to be true. When in reality, a lot of times hoe phases get women husbands. Or single motherhood, and then you get a bailout guy after. Now, again, this isn't what I wish to be true. But, you know, if you guys know anything about my background, I have 9 siblings, including the one that was given up. And my parents owned a pretty big software company. I'd say a lot of people would say they won. I would say my mom won. I mean, my dad's awesome. And I just thought to myself, and Charlie Kirk, when I saw this tweet of his, and I'm going to bring it back up, I felt like it was a little bit dishonest. I like Charlie. If you're watching this, this isn't personal, but I shouldn't know about your wife and kids. You put this all on the internet. The same way the internet they know who my ex-boyfriend is. They know who I'm dating currently. And really, that was my own fault. So I don't really, I don't really blame people. This is, I have to say this in the name of honesty, okay? In the name of I want us to just be open here. So Charlie Kirk, he got married. What year did Charlie Kirk get married? Charlie Kirk. What year? He got married in 3 years ago, and his wife was 32. Okay. Charlie, we have to be honest here. I think what I found online, they were together for 3 years. You cannot expect me to believe that she did not throw it back at all from ages like 16 to 29. On top of that, I found out she strutted along half naked in pageants, like in literal tiny bikinis, traveled the world for pageants, and went to Arizona State University. And I responded, Charlie, your wife went to Arizona State University. What were you the impression she was doing there? And all the simps in the chat are like, studying? I'm like, at Arizona State? So I really would just like conservatives to be more honest about what worked. I mean, if Erica came out and was like, look, I did throw it back a bit. I did kind of hoe around, and I still landed a multi-bajillionaire husband because I looked really hot. Yeah, I stayed in shape. I got into the gym routine, and I was already hot. I stayed looking hot, and I found a guy that didn't have that much sexual experience. I knew I was the hottest girl he ever dated, so I locked in. That would be a little bit more honest, right? But in this case, it seems like his wife did exactly that, and it worked. Yeah, let me find some of this. I don't want to play that one. Yeah. Okay, and let me find some of these. Here we go. Share this tab. And she's a hottie, you know what I mean? She is hot. But I'm like, your trad wife. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't scream, I didn't have a hoe phase. That is just not what it screams to me. And I don't really care if she did. Most women do something, but I just can't imagine when you're going out like this to the bar that you didn't have at least one night stand or one hookup and you're at Arizona State. I think that's a fair assessment. So I need to define a hoe phase, okay? Because a lot of people will say, Pearl, like, what exactly is a hoe phase? Okay. Casual sex. I'm going to give you sex with someone who is not, I'm going to say leaving a boyfriend and not marrying him, hoe phase. Unplanned pregnancy, a divorce, a kid by another guy. I'll give you like 3 bodies. But if you had a kid with any of those bodies, hoe phase. I'm going to assume that you've done something if you've traveled a lot, lived in a major city, went to a major college, and didn't marry by like 21. And here's a couple reels of women talking about their hoe phases. And also now this girl, I think, is engaged too. So here. Oh, wait, hold on. I keep forgetting to do this.
I'll speak for myself, and I know exactly why I'm single, because I've never dated a guy that God would have approved for me. I've only dated really wonderful guys, but never somebody who's further along in their faith than I am. Yeah. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that what God has, the person God has for me, is like so far along in their faith than I am. And I have such a desire, like a true.
Okay, so again, now she's religious at 32, and none of the guys that she dated were very religious in the past. We all know what that means. So oh, wait, hold on.
3. Nah. Okay, yeah. Mine's, I think it's like 13, I would say.
13. She's like 22, I would guess.
I think, yeah.
13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Per.
You think? So
mine is actually 1. Yeah.
just one.
Now, the challenge you get with women like this is they tend to have their hoe phases later. Now, I'm going to show you this woman talking about her trad wife is alive because she left her like family of 4. It just never ends.
Ladies, if you are dating a man and your ultimate dream is to be a homemaker, and you have expressed this to that man, and that man says living off of one income is 1, impossible, 2, outdated, and that it is more realistic to live off of 50-50, meaning you both split the bills and the responsibilities around the house, just know that is that man's way of telling you he does not want to be a provider. He does not have what it takes to do what is needed to provide for you and your family. You shouldn't have to convince men out there that make this lifestyle realistic, and they do what needs to be done. They might work more than one job. A masculine provider man will always do what he needs to do to protect and provide for his family.
I'm Jenny Gage, and this is Life Take 2. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I know there's a lot of great stuff out there on YouTube, and I always appreciate you stopping on one of my videos. My name is Jenny, and I am former MAGA, former Trump obsessed, former Christian nationalist, former white supremacist, former trad wife of 24 years. And before those 24 years of trad wife life, my whole entire childhood was a trad wife immersion program. So honestly, I spent 44 years in the trad world. And then 7 years ago, I lost my faith in the Mormon church, walked out of that one day. 2 weeks later, that 24-year marriage ended abruptly. And my 24-year nightmare came to an end. I'm now a woke, atheist, liberal, feminist, activist, and here we are.
So remember, this was a spokesperson for MAGA, and now she's a wokey. Women, it's like our phases. It's always when it's convenient. Yeah, also go to theaudacitynetwork.com and sign up if you want to support the show. So I would say that hoe phases benefit women, not in a happy way, but because women get to have both. She now gets to bang the alpha fucks guy. She gets to rob her ex-husband. And now, yeah. And now she gets alpha fucks and beta bucks. I don't say this in a happy way. The other issue you get is I don't think most men that women would consider to winning to get are going to wait for sex. The women I saw in school that got the most attractive guys, I really did not see them holding out, if I'm being honest. The virgin women, they did get married, but it was just usually in church dynamics, it would kind of go there would be like a Stacy and a Chad, and they would go off with like the maybe 2 or 3 eligible guys in the church. They'd get married young. And then the rest of them, I mean, you have to understand, I was in this cult-like church for a little bit, and there was just so many single women there. And I saw these women that would be celibate for years, and I'm like, you can't raise the price at like 30. It's time to give a discount. You got to give like a 8-month free trial at that age, you know? Anyways, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then we can, I'm going to pin it. Oh, wait, hold on. Can I pin this? I'm going to send it to a couple people on Twitter too. And we can have a discussion. But it seems like even in the case of Charlie Kirk, it just seems like there wasn't really a consequence for the Hoe Phase. And it seems like they get both. So that's true. The higher the body count, the more their personality changes. You could argue that. All right, let me see. And I could be wrong, right? When I want you guys to call in, what I would really like is, what have you seen? And what I personally have seen is the women that are super prudes, they do not win. They don't. It could be maybe they're not hot enough. I think it's most of the prudes just are not hot enough to be offering that price. Like, you can't be a prude and a mid. A hot chick, yeah, you could pull that, but if you're mid, yeah, nope, cooked. But here we go. And yeah, and that's kind of what I would see in the church, is like there would be a Chad and a Stacy who would, like, you know, but it's kind of like cars, right? If you got a Honda Civic and you're saying you got to commit to me for life in order to ride me, that's a tough sell for a Honda Civic. But if it's a sports car, they're like, do you know what? I might do it. That's a great sports car. What I found is the women that dated the most attractive guys, they were just kind of chill about sex. Like, they wouldn't crash out if they didn't get the relationship they wanted. They would be chill. They didn't come off overly needy, but they were still pretty cute. What's with the suitcase? I'm moving soon. I'm moving. All right, Doug MPA.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So, do you think modern women have to have a Hoe Phase in order to win?
Well, we kind of talked about this earlier. If you're a woman and you find yourself in a vicinity of guys who are either gonna become something or are something, they're not gonna wait. So you have to sleep with these guys, and sooner rather than later. So you identify a guy who could be something, or that identify a guy that you would be with, that has the characteristics you want, and sleep with them as soon as you can, because these kind of guys are not waiting at all. They're just not. And then what do I always say? Men are not going to audit a woman for a relationship until sex has happened first. So the sooner you get that over with, the better. And then how many men do you think a woman has to sleep with on average? Under that under those conditions, how many men do you think a woman would have to sleep with before she actually finds a guy that'll take her seriously?
Depends how hot she is. If she's pretty hot, like 2, 3. If she's mid and likable, I'd say 5 to 8. If she's mid and unlikable, I'd say 10 to 20. Yeah, I mean, it just yeah,
So
it depends on and it depends on there are some women, the woman in my school that dated, and they didn't get married, to be fair. But there's like, I think back to one of the schools I was at. I got to be more vague so people don't figure out who I'm talking about. But I'm going to switch the teams around. This girl dated the most attractive guy on the baseball team. And she wasn't really a prude, but she wasn't like an all-out whore either. Do you know what I mean? Like, she would just sleep with guys she thought were cute. And if it didn't work out, she'd say, oh, well, and then move on. Like, you know, but the prudes, I just saw, Doug, MPA, I just saw so many Christian women at that church. Maybe they were lying, I don't know, but they were so weird, some of them, that I think they were telling me somewhat the truth, that have been celibate for years. And I'm like, you're like 30. It's time for your slut phase, girl. Because guys are not paying that price for a 30. Like, maybe a really dumb buyer, like a buyer who got duped. But like, guys are not going to pay premium prices for a used product. They're just not going to do it.
Wait, so these are all women that had
Yeah.
sex when they were younger, but were celibate in
okay.
their Come on.
I'll tell you the story. So I joined this church because I was trying to figure out what religion I wanted to be. I grew up Catholic, so I joined this like Protestant church because I just wanted to see if I liked it better. And they invited me on this like retreat. And I went on this retreat, and it was the last thing I went to from the church because all these women were like these single women that were really awkward. And a lot of them had been celibate for like 3 years or 2 years. This is a long time ago. This was like years ago. And I sat there and I'm like, and it was because the church was so controlling in who they dated. They would say you have to date only people from the church, but the church was like all women. You know what I mean? Like, and there would be the waiting till marriage. There was like, but there was couples that did that. But it was usually the ran through girl, the virgin guy, or the young women who like, there would be like one Chad and one Stacy that would get married that were like young, you know?
Yeah. So. I saw that church dynamic with a lot of West African churches, Nigerian, Cameroonian churches, where the women are just like the pastor literally controls the women. Like the women just sit there quiet and it's crazy. And then the pastor pretty much has to pick their husband, and like any husband has to meet the church people to even get. I saw that a lot when.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. And don't get me wrong, the women would sometimes find a guy to date them, but like, or marry them, but it was, I mean, the guy was obviously super feminine usually. Wrong. The women. Okay, PJ, I need you to mute it before I bring you up. I'm going to bring up Sean. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was with this girl one time, and we were together for 3 months, and we started sleeping together and stuff. And she's like, what do you think about a woman who's having sex with her partner, but then wants to stop having sex to like regain her energy and stuff? I said, what? She's like, yeah, because some women, they're having sex with their partner. First off, red flag is any woman as his partner. But yeah, sometimes a woman just wants to stop having sex to regain her energy and reset her. I said, look, if I was with a woman and we were sleeping together and she were to like want to stop having sex, that's not okay. Then she tried to justify the female energy and how, sex takes from a woman's energy and she has to reach. Yeah, that didn't last long.
I mean, I'd say it's perfectly fine. I'll just start banging my ex. That's what I'd say. If I was the guy, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
If you're not going to put out, I have exes that will, ho.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, we're going to bring up Sean.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
So what are your thoughts on the topic? Do women have to have a hoe phase in order to win? Or what strategies did the women employ that you saw actually it's a better way to ask, that you saw dating the men that women would want or around you?
Yeah, man. So I saw the women that I saw who got the guy that every other woman wanted. They were very calculating and very specific. So they would tailor themselves to be the kind of girl that guy wants to be with. And they sort of sell him on this dream that they're not a hoe, but they're like selective. But at the same time, if they need to put out to keep this guy, they will, right? And to keep him happy. So like they almost like metamorph to becoming the kind of girlfriend and wife that guy wants, instead of like trying to have their cake and eat it too, which a lot of girls do these days, which is they want to, be who they are on their own terms and expect a guy to give them everything that they want and accept them for who they are. The kind of girls who get the guy that they want know to change themselves to get that kind of guy. And the other girls are just too stupid to get along with that. So like that's been my observation, is that the girls who really want to get the quote unquote alphas, or let's say the most desirable men, they'll change themselves to land that type of guy. Versus the other girls have too much of an ego.
Can you give me an example of someone you're thinking of that did that, like how they did it?
Yeah, I mean, someone who I knew, because I remember there was this consulting girl who I was working with. This was like back in, like 2016. And she was dating this really good looking Chad-like guy who was like, he was doing his MBA at Yale. And for whatever reason, they ended up breaking up. And she's not going to just go along for like the next quote unquote nice guy. She's going to look for a guy who's at least, very attractive, who has a lot of money, different things like that. So she stays on top of her physical fitness to get herself like in a size 0 type dress, making sure she looks really good. She gets herself into the social circles of very rich and like wealthy type men. So her father is he owns like a yacht and things like that. So she is around those types of guys and positions herself like sort of networking in those circles to be able to meet like a guy who's 10 years older than her, who he's divorced, but he doesn't have any kids or anything like that. But he's like a doctor. And, she glucked for like the next 3.5 years to land that guy. You know what I mean? So like most girls, and this guy's like 6'4". He's a radiologist. He's, he has money bags. He has an amazing life where he travels, which is what she likes to do. She did everything she had to do to land that type of guy. So she got along with that program. So I would say the women who really want to land a guy like that really needs to understand, like, how do those guys move? What social circles are they in? And they need to figure out how to blend into that environment and kiss his ass and be the type of girl that guy wants. And I think that's the mistake that most women make, which is in their minds, they get to live their life however they feel like it. And eventually Prince Charming is supposed to come along. I think that's how a lot of them have been sold this dream, versus the ones who really know how the game is played. They know to put themselves in a position to meet that type of guy and become the woman that he wants on his terms.
Yeah, I agree. That was great. Great answer. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add to the topic?
Yeah, I mean, to the question, do women have to have a hoe phase to win? To be honest, I think if they need to have a hoe phase to get it out of their system, by all means, just go ahead and do it. I think all women hoe around. It's just the question of how much they hoe around and with what guys. And I'd rather them just get it out of their system so that when they do want to eventually settle down, they're not always like bitter at the guy who they settled with. You wish you were like this guy. I want them to like get it out of their system to be with enough assholes that they sort of don't want that anymore, and then want the kind of guy who they actually want to settle down with, versus the ones who didn't quite get it out of their system and then resent their husbands for the next 30, 40 years.
And they have to keep it quiet too. Don't talk about it when you do it.
Yeah.
And don't post anything about it on social media.
Yeah, so you know what? That girl's advice is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be honest, like most guys kind of know that girls have a past, as long as they're not running their mouth about it and always bringing up their exes in front of them, or, you can see photos in their Instagram of all their exes in their past. Like most girls who have half a brain know to delete all that stuff and basically purge their history. So it looks like, even though people know she had ex-boyfriends, like no one's like bringing it up. There's no digital trail of that, if that makes sense. Like you won't go through Ivanka Trump's Instagram or her Facebook or, Google image you won't find any of the guys she was hoeing around with before she got married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the smart girls know to make sure that none of this stuff is trackable, except for, the OnlyFans girls somehow get away with it. Like, they're always going to land a guy, even though all their videos are on the internet for the next 100 years. But I would say, smart women need to understand that their reputation really does matter.
Yeah. Great. Thanks for calling in, Sean. You're
Absolutely.
great. It's great contribution as always.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we got PJ.
Thanks for calling in, Sean. You're
Absolutely.
great. It's great contribution.
Okay. Hey, PJ. Okay, I'm gonna drop you till you figure out your audio. Dasher. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So what do you think of the topic? The women that you have seen won, and winning is in girl world, which is the hot guys, the popular guys. That's winning in girl world. The women that you've seen either lock them down, did they have to have a hoe phase to win? The more specific the example of the woman you're thinking of, the better.
Well, yeah, no, they don't have to. They don't have to have a whole face to win. They can wait until marriage, and they will get the guy that they want.
Yeah, good luck. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the only way to do that. Yep.
Sorry, Glenn. Hi.
Yeah, well, I want that guy's advice. Hold on, where did he get that from? Fortune cookie advice from?
The way until marriage. Yeah, good luck.
Like what? Yeah, that no.
I mean,
cooked.
I mean, it sounds nice, but
That's almost that sounds just as good as like, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams bullshit does not work.
yeah, I mean, no, guys will do the wait till marriage, but it's just the dorky ones usually. Or
The
if
guys
they're
that
go
guys
ahead.
that wait till marriage have to wait till marriage. They have no
Yeah,
other
that's true.
option. They're not doing it because they're virtuous. Come on. Okay, I should say the majority of guys are not doing it because they're virtuous.
There's like one or two like pastor guys in the churches that all the women want that maybe like they marry the Stacy. That's what I've seen. But it's like one or two, the rest take L's.
So like there's a podcast group of guys called the Iron Disciples. I've worked with them before out of Florida. They're out of like Sarasota, Florida. They were on with Rollo and me at one point. One of the guys out of that group named Mike, he was 31 at the time, or 30 and still a virgin, but by choice. Like the dude he has all Chad-like features. Chad, looks, Chad house, he had owned good money, owned property. Like he just was not going to settle for some chick that didn't align with his belief system. And I'm like, that's more power to you. I'd still smash all the hoes just because, like if I was him, but he's the only guy that I know that's, that is capable of doing it and not doing it. So
I've met guys like that. They have that same kind of power that your friend has. They just don't sleep with Western women. So they'll save it all for a trip to Colombia or Costa Rica, get it all out in 2 weeks, and then just come back but they won't live in America and just won't touch American women. They can have any American woman they want, but they just don't touch American women.
Yeah, there's also beating cheeks. Beating cheeks like just going over to Colombia just to beat cheeks. But so the question is like, do modern women have to have a hoe phase to win? I don't think they have to. I just think they have realized in order to be seen by the guy, right? To be seen by the guys that they want to be seen, to be noticed, they have to draw their attention. So best way to draw their attention is to
Gluck.
And be really good at it.
Yeah.
Right. And so by doing that, they garner the attention, and that's how they are able to cash out.
Yeah. Like even Erica Kirk, I'm like, that was very well played. I mean, she was really smart. She went from University of Arizona, being half naked, to now you're lecturing me on Jesus.
Yeah.
And she did it overnight. She met Charlie and she's like, I am a woman of God.
Now I am. She's like,
Yeah, I am right now. And I'm like, do you know what? That would be an honest, like if you want to date a church guy, it's time to put on a flower dress and say you're a woman of God.
I mean, look at Nala. She did it, and she's
Yeah, I
known
mean
for getting her
that
blown
would
up.
be a good strategy, but you know, I was just thinking when I saw that clip of that woman giving advice that I was like, that's exactly what your wife did and it worked. I told my mother, I'm like, you got pregnant by dad like immediately. You should have told me to download Tinder, throw it back. You know, I'd have kids by now. Why'd you tell me to wait, Mom? Like, that didn't work for you. I was like, I'm like, wait, it didn't work.
So
you
and
know?
a lot of the things that we were taught about had to deal with like the influence of the purity culture at the time in the 90s and 2000s, and like the promise ring shit and all that stuff that was going on around that time. And they just didn't teach sex properly. I think they shunned it. Like nobody talked about it. They just told you to stay away from it. Guys are bad, and you know, girls are sluts. You know, like just stay away from it. And then you get like, there's this article. I'm actually going to do a show about it. Is this guy? He's 30 some odd year, 40 years old, just finally married, and he doesn't even know what the fuck to do with his dick because he grew up in this purity culture and he's been shamed about it his whole life. He feels, and he's like now he's like married and his wife hates him. You know, thank you, purity culture. You know, and it just like, you know, what are these guys to do? But then also like we would, I heard you guys saying earlier, like the girls, if you do have a past, just assume all girls do have a past, but make sure it's not on the internet. Don't talk about it, you know. And that's almost like what the trad chicks are doing now.
And I just think that would be an honest strategy is to
But it's not even honest.
Wait, do you know what's so crazy? Charlie Kirk said that'll lead to a lot of pain, but you platformed Nala and that worked. Like, I'm not trying to add in morality and what's the right thing to do. I'm just trying to stick to strategically what works. And
What works is exactly what already they're doing. They go hoe out, you know, by the mid to late 20s. They find Jesus. Okay. They join the church. And then the pastor marries them off to like the chads in the church. And then they're good.
Yeah. What do you think? What religion should I convert to this year? What are you thinking? Orthodox?
Well, good luck. Peace be with you.
I'm gonna come on tomorrow in a flower dress and okay. Lord, welcome to the show, Lord Geotron.
Yeah, Lord Geotron.
How are you? Where are you located out of?
I'm in America.
Okay, I meant what state? Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Virginia right now.
Oh, cool. Okay. Are the experience you're speaking from, is it like from living in Virginia or like when you were younger?
No. I'm not even from Virginia.
Okay.
I just work there.
I'm going to clarify.
From Los Angeles.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh,
so
my home.
You might have a good insight then. So when I say women winning, this is in women world, and in girl world, women winning is the girls that marry and can lock down, get a kid off of and lock down men that are popular or hot. It's pretty much it. Rich is great too. If you can get all three, that's amazing. But popular and hot is first. I think, you know, if you watch the show, you probably know that. So the women that you've seen win and do that, did they have a hoe phase to employ that strategy, or did they have a different strategy? Did holding out work? What did they do?
No. Before we get into that, I just want to say I'm sorry to like change the subject or change the channel, but the 304 is not a phase. You don't shake that. That never goes away. That's a scourge. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's never gonna stop. There's no phase to that.
They do it all
Those
the
people,
time. They do it all the
yeah,
time.
no, well, they get married, but the aspect of being a whore, that's why the divorce rate is so high, because there's so many of them running off, cheating on their husbands, being infidels and things of that nature.
Yeah, but they still win in girl world because they can just rob the ex.
Oh yeah, you said girl
wrong.
world. Right,
Yeah,
my bad. Right.
It's wrong. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying like they still now they can just rob the ex-husband and then bang the. But yeah, go ahead.
Right. You're right. In that case, yeah, maybe. Boy, that's a tough one, Miss Pearl. Yeah, maybe they are winning. Hopefully, something to turn around, because at the end of the day, reality is going to catch up, and girl world is going to be realized to be clown world, and clown world doesn't sustain anything. You can't live off popcorn and cotton candy, and
yeah, it's going to shit. It's going pretty bad.
I'm telling you, man, society's crumbling, and it's crumbling, and these ladies, they're like crabs in a bucket. They're pulling everybody down with them, pursuing their own. They're not even becoming happy. They always screaming, "I want to be happy. I'm happy, happy, happy." They're not even ever reaching happiness. They're never getting satisfied. What they're doing is, go ahead.
Okay, so the women that win, though, I want to stick to the topic. So the women that you've seen win, what strategy did they employ? For me personally, I've never seen a woman wait till marriage and get the guy that women want. I really have not seen it.
Okay.
So it's employed. They might not have had a hoe phase, but they had to hoe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they.
Yeah.
They had
this is why I'm laughing. This is why I'm laughing. We're gonna be messed up. The one that won was in foreign countries, and guys with passports went overseas, got them. Those are the ones who won.
Yeah, so that they don't know anything. Okay, go on.
Oh, that was bad.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
No,
I just want to know what
foreign
you've
women.
seen.
Foreign women's are the one that won. They're the ones who got the popular Giga Chads.
I give it.
Especially those guys who like
foreign women win.
No, I was about to say, especially those guys who like. My fault.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Please continue.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, especially those guys that like play like semi-pro basketball, who got to play overseas and stuff like that. They get those like mid-tier, like they get those high-value dollars. Like a guy who works a regular job, if he's making like $500,000 a year, $2 million a year, something like that, but they're playing overseas ball, they're getting that big-time money. They're just not a NBA star, but they are making big-time money in comparison to the
NBA
average
stars
Joe
their
in
country.
America.
They're the NBA stars in their country. Like I have friends that play in like Poland, or they played in the Philippines for pro teams.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're
what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, they're like celebrities over there.
And-
They're like mega stars over there.
Exactly. So why get an American chick when you can get one of those chicks, and when you come back to America in the off season, she won.
I gotta be honest though, I don't see a ton of men. Like if you look at the numbers, it's not that big of a percentage of men that are going overseas. Women are going overseas more than men. Like,
Well, here's the other thing.
The women are the passport bros, to be honest.
Here's the thing, though. Like, you know, going overseas doesn't mean that you're winning. It doesn't mean you're winning. Like, you think like the girls over there don't have games that they run on guys? They do.
Most definitely.
Exchange. All you're doing is exchanging, you know, these problems for these problems with women. You know, like because I guarantee you, any guy that goes wifes up a chick from wherever other country, and then if you bring her back to the States and you guys live here in the States, she's gonna become westernized and she's gonna become just like every other woman. So if you find a good one overseas, then keep your ass over there, stay over there, don't come back, because it's that community, it's that society, that culture that keeps those buffers in place over there for her to be that way. Because as soon as you bring her to America, there's no buffers, and she's gonna adopt to what women are like out here.
Yeah, maybe. Unless she didn't go through that phase that we're talking about.
No, I gotta be honest. Like I see the phase as an eventuality for most women. I'd say like
Yeah,
90%,
it's brutal.
because like you know what, I've seen too much, and the women that like don't have the hoe phase up front, they just do it later. They just do it on the
Well, they do it differently. Like, and I think a hoe phase is like on a spectrum, right? Because what some people call hoe phase could be like 1 or 2 one-night stands, period. Right? And then what other people think is a hoe phase is having their back blown out by the entire Dallas Cowboys football team, right? It's on a spectrum, right? So
a carousel.
Well, it's just kind of like, how much of a hoe phase did you have? Did you have like, little bitty itty bitty hoe phase, or did you go full on, Mia Khalifa hoe phase?
Oh. But and Perla, I'll say this. That movie Pretty Woman, where the chick got scooped up.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I've honestly never seen that myself, but I have seen where they were like lames, where they were called lames, where they were like not that popular, but they made it big and they made a lot of money, and they went back to Figueroa and scooped up one of those chicks who they grew up with. I have seen that a few times actually, being out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen porn stars get married.
Oh, yeah,
It's just attractive men too. I can't even say they're like Riley.
I mean,
Reid's
a friend of mine
Yeah,
is
we
one.
can't say he's ugly. Riley Reid, he's not. He's a good-looking guy. Go ahead.
One of my friends, she's a porn star and she just got married, and she married a very well-off guy in the film industry, and they're happy. I'm like, hey, that's them.
Because if women had to be with betas in the past anyway, so the hoe phase benefits women because women get both. They get the alphas and the beta later.
Yeah.
So like, if women don't have a hoe phase, it benefits like men, but it doesn't benefit women because women want both. Women want like the hot sex with the alphas and to marry the betas later.
Yeah, that's where the sexy son theory is, right? Like, they want to get knocked up by the alpha and have the beta, take care of them.
Who's who else is in the
Hey, you want me to step down, Miss Pearl?
Sorry about that.
Oh,
you guys hear me?
Sorry, I can't see your username name, but what's your name?
I think that's Brad.
My
Brad?
name is Brad. It's wonderful to speak to you guys. Hey.
It's so good to speak to you too. What is your thoughts on the topic? The women that you've seen get with lockdown popular men or very attractive men?
I would say, generally speaking, being photogenic and angular, in your form is most certainly ideal to getting married. But personally, from my own lived experience, I'll go to, mega church young adult groups, and I see kind of a cultural breakdown. In the 1950s, post-hippie movement, the divorce rate increased quite drastically. And I think there was some cultural dysfunction that went on there. And so, I always like to look within and say, if I'm attempting to get married, is it just me being socially inept? Am I just lacking charisma in some way? But I really do see people my age of Gen Z being quite distraught and kind of emotionally unsure in their feelings of marriage. Because I think they look at a lot of the older boomers kind of hosting these events and they're like, this doesn't look right to me. And I don't see the wisdom necessarily to pave the way to a healthy and functional marriage. In the 1900s, I just think people spoke in a more eloquent and, I suppose, concise way.
Brad, I like your vocabulary. Your vocabulary is quite extensive there, sir.
I appreciate you.
But so you said you're Gen Z, right?
I'm 26 years old.
You're a young Thundercat. I think back in the day, when we look at marriage, right? It was the boomers failed because they, in my opinion, they gave up. They destroyed the hierarchy of the family. They husbands became more submissive and deferring authority to their wives. And that's why we see the inversion of the family now. We see the breakdown of the family today because men have given over the role of the authority to their wives. They're not the ones running shit there anymore. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's often people like to make the financial argument behind not getting married and not partaking in such, but I think that's really just a lack of being content. I wouldn't mind a smaller home and less land if it led to more financial.
Oh yeah, well that's
So I do want to stick to the topic though.
Of course.
So are you where are you from? Like what city?
Me, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. And do you have like a lot of friends there? Like were you involved in school? Like what's
I was in the Marine Corps ROTC and I'm a military veteran.
Okay, great. So the most popular guys that were locked down by women, what strategies did you see them employ to get that?
I would say it would have to be mostly physical attraction and using romance as almost like a status symbol, which I think people in the old days used to outgrow that convention a bit faster than they do today. I think the social media is infantile and juvenile. It's childish.
Okay.
I would agree.
Cool. I'm gonna move on to the next caller. Thanks for calling in, Brad.
Of course. Thank you.
I
ma'am. God
appreciate
bless
it.
you.
Call in anytime, all right?
You stay well. God bless you.
Brad is a smart, yet nice, chipper chap, isn't he?
Yeah. Hey, Isabella, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Pearl?
Good. And Shiv, welcome to the show.
Hey, this is dope.
I'm going to give you guys a little recap. So if you weren't here earlier. So Charlie Kirk had a tweet and it was responding to this woman that told women to sleep around when they were young. And then basically look for the guy that's going places and lock him down when they're a little bit older. And I thought to myself, he said this is going to like lead to young women's destruction. And I thought to myself, that's the exact strategy your wife used and it worked on you. And she's now married to one of the top conservative influencers. Now, my case is that she was 32. That's a long time to be sexually active. I just can't imagine in 10 years, I would just assume you probably had a one-night stand or a situationship. This isn't to virtue signal. It's just to say, it probably happened. She went to Arizona State, which is pretty.
I mean, there's 100%. Are you kidding me?
And
I'm
dating
the guy at ASU. I know what happened. It's gross.
Yeah, and then on top of that, she modeled half naked. It's not to say she was an all-out whore, but I just can't. I'm not going to believe she waited until she was married, and I don't. So if she was really honest, I'm like, to get what you have, you actually hoard out a little bit and then rebranded when you met Charlie. That was a good strategy. I had this same thought process with my mother because my mom always told us to wait till marriage, but she got pregnant right after she met my dad and they were together for 30 years. So I don't really see the abstinence working in general in 2025. And the women that and it has to be the men that women find attractive. Women are lining up to be with celebrities, not engineers, unfortunately. So I'm just curious, the women that you've seen get what women want, what strategy did you see them employ to get there? And did they have to hoe out to win? Shiv, you can go first, and then Isabella, you can go next. Go ahead.
So yeah, I actually think the strategy that's worked the best and I've seen so many people get married. I'm going to St. Louis literally the day after tomorrow for a wedding. And the strategy that's always worked is be a serial dater as a woman and sleep around a lot. And the same thing as we tell the red pill guys, right? The spin plates and have one be compliant to you for a long period of time and like prove themselves. And then maybe they can win it out. So unfortunately, all the married people I know all the girls were kind of sleeping around, to be honest. So yeah, I haven't seen a lot of I just feel like the people who hold it out for marriage just never get married. Like I just never see it working. I don't know. I feel like I'm in California, so I see a very different world. Everyone here is very capitalistic. Like everyone's like it's a race to the top.
Yeah, but if you're like the gay page,
the women holding
big difference.
No, I mean like my heritage is
the women holding out, to be fair, are never that hot.
That's true.
That's true. It's easy to be pure if you're fat and ugly. I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
you know what I mean? No, because like I think a hot girl could maybe employ that strategy and it could work. Like Erica was pretty hot. But if you're a mid cooked, no guys, that's like a Honda Civic and you're charging like full price. Hell no.
Like, if you're a mid, you have to do something else to get the attention. You get to add that extra value. You know, the added value.
This reminds me of something I saw the great Zerka tweet a while ago. It's like, you know what? He'd rather date an ex-ho that's really hot than a virgin who's really just, ugly. I mean, mid might even be a compliment. But I want to say that obviously I'm a Christian. I do think that, staying abstinent until marriage is what we should do. However, we're living in the modern world. And yeah, I think a lot of these women, like the conservative women, have to rebrand and pretend like they don't have a past. I mean, luckily for me, I used to be an atheist and I'm now a Christian, but Pearl, that someone leaked my Halloween, hoe costume from college.
She looked hot.
Thank you. People said, thank you, Pearl. Thank you. Pearl's my lesbian.
Yeah, she was on a yacht the next day.
Isabella, here's the question though. Let me ask you this. Like, isn't it just easier to own it? Be like, yeah, I enjoyed it back then. This is where my mind was back then. This is what I was thinking about. Now I see things a little bit differently. I don't move the same way. It's when the conservative women deny or even act like those that never existed, that they've always been this virtuous. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, it's just like we smell the BS. It's like what you've always been, the picture perfect trad wife. Come on, let's be real. That's what me and Pearl can't stand about a lot of these women is they pretend to be something that they're not. And like when my photos of my Halloween costume got exposed, I was like, at first I didn't even want to address it because I was so embarrassed. But my husband was like, just have humility. Just say like you were an atheist. You were godless. You were a decent looking girl in college. That's what the bitches do in college, unfortunately. And just be upfront about it and just give all glory to God. Like you've changed, not in the Nala sense, that's, I don't believe her change, but we have to allow women room to change, but these women cannot try to lie to us and claim that they've always been freaking perfect. Okay. Because if you look that good, chances are you this is what I've said on the last time I was on your stream, Pearl, is I think all girls are hoes until they're married. I mean, obviously I'm saying like adult women, getting sexually active, they're all hoes until they're locked down.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, because every trad wife, there's some hoe shit. There's something. There's something. So I have a question. The girls. So what school did you go to? Is that online? Go ahead.
Yeah, I went to a Catholic high school, and I know you asked me earlier, and I was trying to think. Okay, the girls that I knew in high school who had good outcomes, and to be honest, I'm such like a introvert that I don't keep in touch with anyone ever, barely. Literally, Pearl, you literally are the person I text the most.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean,
okay, let me say it a different way. Who was dating? So when I think about my school experience, there was one or two very attractive guys on every team. Okay. And they had girlfriends by senior year. Most of them at some point had a girlfriend. Now, maybe they didn't get the ring. Some did, some didn't, but we can at least say they made it the furthest. They got the closest. What I observed was that it would not be the super sluts or the prudes. It was the women that were somewhere in the middle. One girl I'm thinking of, I would put her at actually a 5.5, maybe 6. She wasn't that cute, but I think she got with the guy because she was really chill. When she would sleep with the guy, it would be like, we can be a thing, we cannot be a thing. Like, it's up to you, whatever she wouldn't, they all knew she wouldn't crash out. She wouldn't run her mouth. Like she wasn't going to go, and she was just a chill person to be around. That's how I think she won. And apparently she was good in bed. That's what everyone said. So that strategy, she did not end up marrying that guy. There was another girl who was in a situationship for like 6 years. And I thought he would never marry her. I thought she was so stupid. And lo and behold, she's pregnant with kids now.
You would be surprised.
Yeah.
You would be surprised. I know it's like the red pill guys, like, and everyone, we talk about how men want pure women, which I think that they do.
That's a grift. That's a cope.
How I know, but however, in the real world, like we saw, like what's his name? Freaking Logan. Is it Logan Paul? He married that like
Oh yeah.
freaking psycho Jezebel, like psychotic woman from the clips I've seen. Like she's not only an ex-hoe, but she's also like a nagging, crazy. She looks awful. She's like, she doesn't even try to look good while pregnant. She's just one of those bitches that's, I'm pregnant, you must serve me, which I cannot stand those women.
No.
So many of them. But yeah,
The red pill guys, they don't want a virgin. That's a lie. That's a lie. They just don't want to know that you were a hoe. Okay, they want to think that they brought the hoe out of you. Okay, and ladies, just let them think that. Okay,
I think this is guys in general, like Christian men. I feel like they still would rather have a pure girl, but it's tough to come by.
No, they wouldn't. I know just as many Christian. I was a former youth pastor. Trust me, I know just as
They
many
fold.
Christian guys.
You say that, and then they fold the second
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh, I hate fake lips, fake boobs," and then a girl
Yep.
with all of that'll flirt with them for 5
They will
minutes.
tell
and they
you
fold.
like they read Proverbs 7
I hate
and stay
women that
away
wear
from the
makeup,
Proverbs
but
7
then-
woman.
Yeah.
And remember, Kevin Samuels, he make the distinction between entertainers and then like corporate businessmen. So make sure to make that distinction, because remember, a lot of red pill guys are entertainers first,
right?
But they don't see things from the corporate business side. But I will even concede that a woman that goes through a hoe phase, she can get the corporate business doctor lawyer type, as long as she doesn't have a public persona of being a whore. We have
Right.
to redefine what purity is. Purity can't be considered low bodies as much as how many bodies can be proven.
Right. It's like, is she making him look bad at the time? Like, is she a bad reflection on him at the time? And a lot of the corporate guys or accountants, I heard, Pearl, you mentioned that earlier, you know, they were probably goofy and a little geeky in high school. But once these guys are like in their 30s and 40s, especially like 30s, really, like late 20s, they can mature and they can become very good looking. So it's like they finally can get the hot girls. But, you know, she's going to have some bodies and some baggage probably, but he'll wife her up probably.
Well, the thing is, again, it's like, is your past out there for everyone to see? Do we all know who you've been with and how you've been with them? If that's the case, yeah, they're going to consider you for the streets. But if you've been able to keep your private life private and it's not a public knowledge, then that's purity. I mean, that's really what it is. Purity is what is able to be perceived as pure.
It's like the image, the public image. Yeah. The perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want the demeanor of a virgin, right? Like a woman who like is excited to be with you, excited to have sex with you, excited, you know, compliant, all that stuff. Whether she is or not, it's indifferent, right? Like the reality is, if I went on a date with a girl and she was like, I'm saving it for marriage, I'm in a weird dilemma, right? Because I'm like, okay, so I'm going to date you for 2 years, and that's like a part of this whole equation, right? So, but I don't want to feel like if I'm hooking up with a girl that she is not as excited about me as her past, right? Like we want to be her sexual exclusive, her sexual best. And that's more important than being a virgin.
And that's why they like the virgin element, because if you suck, but you're her first, you're her best. So she has nothing to do. And that's instead of wanting to be able to be compared to other guys, you just want to make sure that by default you're her best.
Do you know what?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you know what Nuke tweeted once? He said, I've taken a girl's virginity and I didn't, like, she wasn't bonded. I don't know how he said it, but it was like, I've taken a girl's virginity and she wasn't bonded to me, but the first time I slapped a girl, she like stayed.
Oh my gosh. Women are so toxic, and they claim that men are. They're so toxic. Yeah, well, I heard Rolo say one time, and this totally made sense to me. He's like, body count does matter. Like we talk about body counts, but realistically, as long as you're the man that out alphas all the past bodies and like you don't really know and that's not in your circle, then she will be yours. But if she thinks about her past and there's a guy that out alphaed you, then that's a problem.
Right.
That's
Because if she was with
hardcore.
60 like nerdy Asian Mark Zuckerberg looking guys, to me she's like effectively a virgin. Right,
That's
you know
an
what I mean.
RP4
But if
actually
she's
comment.
you know what I mean. But if she's like with one of these guys on the panel, then it's like that's like 80 bodies just one time, right?
This guy
like,
Alex
so,
from in the chat, he said, so
if she's been with Zerka once,
He says
That's like $100.
This guy in the chat says, so we're saying we want a liar. Pearl says it all the time. Men, especially the average guy, wants to believe the lie.
Yeah,
How
they
many
do.
guys do you know where the woman's like, I've never done this before? Like, the guy wants to believe, he wants to believe the lie. And that's the thing with the ladies need to understand with your promiscuous past. If you can set it up where he can believe, like he wants to believe that you haven't slept with as many women or you haven't done the stuff that you've done. So just be able to contextualize it and let him believe the lie.
Hold on. Hey, Flo, get up here. I see you in the chat. Get up
It's
here, Flo.
almost, it's almost respectful. Like, you know how when men cheat and they lie about it, it's like a little bit more respectful. They actually care. It's like women lie about their when women lie about their past,
Ignorance is
they care about the guy. And I'll tell you what, it's like neither should happen, right? They neither should do it. But
I think
like
a lot of it is
when guys cheat and they don't care about getting caught, that's when they know that they don't care about you anymore.
Well, I think it's important to point out, like, a lot of this is like the body count issue. Yes, we understand how science has shown that like it'd be harder to pair bond, but like what you were saying that Rolo said actually was an RP Thor, comment that we were talking about years ago, that when it came to body count, like body count doesn't matter once you are the best that she has compared to. When she looks back at her past sexual past, and if you surpass them, you are the man. You're the best. You're the one that she's been alpha by.
Let me show you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I'm saying, so that is important. That's where body count doesn't matter. But guys don't want to have to compete with these ghosts of her past, so they just default want the virgin.
Like, it's kind of beta behavior, honestly. It's like
I'm sure these celebrities here, these like men that all the women want to be with, were really concerned about this girl's body count that they all dated seriously.
No, yeah, they don't care. Isn't that what's her name? Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reality is men really don't care as much as we try to say that they do.
Well, I think guys want the girl to have a lower body count than them, right? So guys only had you've only been one or two girls. Well, now you're kind of, there's not that many bodies she has to collect to have more experience than you. We want to just have more experience than the girl. So I think for a lot of guys, if they don't have that privilege, that's where I think it matters more. Is that fair?
They want the girls hot, but selective. Not
Right.
too
Yeah.
crazy hoes, but somewhat selective.
Well, actually, it's good though, because it means the woman actually has respect for herself. She just didn't let any random dick, swing on by. Like the guy had some qualifiers.
The one issue though is that when women, like a lot of women that cash out young, they just like, there's a reason why the divorce rate is the lowest I think it's between 25 and 30. It's because the women that cash out young, they feel like they're missing out a lot of the time, and then they just hoe later. They like hoe at 40.
Hey,
not always, but that happens. Go ahead.
Pearl, just like your parents, my parents were each other's first like boyfriend, girlfriend since they were 12, and they're still together. So we have some good parents. They didn't have me before married though.
I knew a woman, her and her husband were from, where was Sarah Palin from? Alaska?
Alaska.
Wasilla, Alaska they were from.
Yeah, Alaskan.
She was 15. He was 16. They had sex once, got pregnant, and it was a shotgun wedding because she was 58 at the time and he was 59. But they had been married for over 40 years.
Well, I think it's because that's when women at that age, they're just picking for genetics. So like my mom told me that a lot of the high school pregnancies, like in her high school, they ended up staying with the dad because there's because what happens is women go get damaged from the body count, and then they start going in with an agenda. Like, I want to get married. And so I think the wall is when women are too damaged where they can't select for alphas anymore. Like, they can't do it. They get the herp, they get ghosted once or twice, something bad happens and they can't date the hot guys anymore. That's the wall.
My favorite pure girls in my Catholic high school were the girls that they weren't technically deflowered, but they went in the back door instead. So those are my favorite.
Yeah.
hoes.
Yeah, I had a bunch.
Those
I've
ones
been
are
to St.
smart.
George, Utah before.
They're quirky.
That's a great way to get AIDS. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not-
I had a whole bunch of the suburb I grew up in was a military suburb because it was outside of a large military base. So a bunch of the officers, colonels, lieutenant colonels, when we first moved there, but over the years, a bunch of Mormon families moved in, and Mormon girls were all about the gawk and taking it back
Smoking.
there, man. Yeah,
So
Mormon
weird.
girls
It's
were the
so
absolute
weird.
worst. Mhm.
But
You know
hey,
what's
she's a
crazy,
virgin.
though?
There's your virgin, guys. That's what you wanted, right?
These
What's
virgins
crazy is
are
like I know
liberals,
a lot
man.
of like relationships that have been 20, 15, 20 years, and these girls were hoes, and the guys were players, and they're married and they're great relationship. But then all these trads, super, religious, pious people claiming they want this and that. Horrible relationships. What up, Flo? Wait a minute.
Hey,
Bring back
Flo.
Flo.
Oh, he's coming.
Hey, Flow State.
What's
What
going
up,
on,
homie?
guys?
Yo.
Not much.
Guys and girls.
Me and Flo be talking about this on my show all the time, that guys are over like zealous about this body count. Like body count
Okay,
ain't
so
shit.
I wanted to see what your thought was on the topic. The women that you've seen win and date the most attractive and popular men. In girl world, that's winning. It just is what it is. Did they have to hoe to get there?
At what age?
Well,
I mean,
I
so
just
it was,
go through some scenarios you've
so
seen.
I mean, it seems like it was sort of a tightrope, right? Like they couldn't not put out, they couldn't prude their way
Yeah,
there, but they also
exactly.
couldn't hoe their way there. It really is a
Pun
fine
intended or
balance.
not intended? Tightrope. I mean, not so tightrope.
Touche.
Well, it's like they may have done like a little bit of freaky deaky with one guy, but they were never in like a threesome on somebody's cell phone video. Like
Yeah,
that's what he's
that's a
trying
whole
to say.
new level.
Yeah.
Well,
So could you go through maybe some women that you've seen win and how you saw them get there? It could be like from your high school, college, just whoever comes to mind, like first.
And define winning again, it's getting with like
An attractive, popular guy that other
So-
women want, and she has to get the ring and the kid.
okay, so the attractive popular guy at 16 and at 35 are pretty different.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
So
Oh, yeah.
which
Go
time
for,
point?
go for 35, let's say.
Okay. Well, my wife met me at a park because we were both single parents.
Aw.
Actually, I don't know that I have an answer for that. Because at that time we're all kind of separated. I'm not paying a lot of attention to what people are doing. I did notice that at 25, it was like clockwork. If a woman turned 25 and she was not married, had a kid, or in a serious relationship, it seemed like they'd really start freaking out then and reaching out to anybody in their Facebook friends list that they hadn't talked to in a while to try to get that moving. But I don't know that I think that there's actually a recipe for that.
So I'm not asking. I'm just asking for what you've seen work. Like an example I gave earlier was, my parents met. They've been together 30 years, and they got pregnant immediately. So that's what happened. So
Were they married before they got pregnant, or did they
oh,
get
hell
pregnant
no,
and then married?
no. They were like 3 months into knowing each other. She was pregnant.
Right.
And so what does that point out? It points out like the fact that the woman does have to show sexual desire for the guy.
Yeah.
And she could show that sexual desire and not have sex, and she could probably still win if she and lock him down. But that exclusive desire that she wants him has to be there.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
I think it's values. I don't think it's sex. I mean, of course, sex has to be there. That's like a prerequisite. But I think it's the values. The two people share the same values, and some people, that's going to look different for each couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Al Smith says Hi, Pearl. My girlfriend dumped me on my birthday, and now all of a sudden she wants to text. I haven't responded. What's making it easier to not respond is the fact of how cruel she dumped me. Any thoughts? I'm hanging strong. She probably went for a guy, and he probably ghosted, and now she's back.
She's looking for any attention.
Right.
She got pumped and dumped. So
Don't make him feel any
Right.
better. Don't
You
make him
can-
feel better about it.
Yeah,
Al,
you
before
The
you
grass
even
was greener.
respond-
The grass wanted nothing to do with her after the grass got what it
Yeah.
wanted, and now she's roaring back. Yeah, no, humiliate her. Really,
I
you
got
need to, like,
this.
Have
The
you seen
love of your life got turned out.
Have you
This is
seen
what he should do. This
have
is
you
what he
seen-
should do.
Okay, wait. Have you seen AMS where he's like,
Oh.
she can come back, but she's got to eat some ass?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Al, this is my advice for you. Go find her best friend. And if her best friend's single, bang her best friend like never before. Okay. Then reply to her text message. Oh, I'm sorry. I was busy. What's up?
What you should do is just come up here, put her number in the back chat, and let us call her live.
Oh
Okay, but
yeah,
what's
do
more
you want me to
offensive
call
to a
her?
girl?
I
Girl, what
can
do you
ask her. I can ask
Sorry.
her why you messed it, why she messed it up with you. If you give me if you put her number, yeah, you click the
Ooh.
stream link.
We can
put her
prank
number
call
in
her.
the chat. Yeah.
Bring back
yeah.
prank calls.
Don't put her in the chat.
You
Put it in
guys
the
have seen that
come on.
show?
No, in the back chat. Like go on
Yeah.
the StreamYards.
You guys have seen that
I
one
have this,
radio
like, dumb
show
hose
where they
phone
always
number
end up.
memorized. Oh, sorry.
Have you seen the radio show on the Instagram Reels where they call a woman will say, "Hey, I broke up with this guy, goes to me." So the radio call host will call the guy and says, "So you went out with Michelle, right? What happened?" And then they have her on the phone. We should do that right now. It'd be great.
I'll
This
do
should be a
it.
new segment. Yeah.
I'll
I
do
like that.
it.
Let's go. Let's
Okay,
Al, come on.
what would hurt this ex-girlfriend more, you think, if he were to bang a hotter friend of hers or an
Always.
uglier friend? Because if it's an uglier girl, in my opinion, I'm like, really? Like an uglier
The
girl?
hotter girl hurts.
The hotter girl is always the one that gets some women.
Yeah.
The girls will get mad that you bang the ugly girl because then that means that you don't have respect for yourself, and
True.
you know,
Well,
so that's why they get mad. But like
that
they
readjusts
get
where they
mad.
view themselves, right?
Yeah,
but it would
they get
confirm-
jealous over the hotter girl.
It would confirm the decision of not dating you though, because it'd be like, oh,
true.
yeah, he just bangs these fatties. Yeah, I was probably
Right,
He'll just
right.
fuck
And it would make her
anything.
think she made the right call. So true.
If they get cheated
How
on
does
by
it
the
look,
ugly
man?
girl, if the guy cheats on a hot girl with an uggo, then it hurts the girl's feelings.
Yes, that's
what the
really
bust
what I
down
meant.
is. Yeah, yeah.
That's really what I meant. It's like, really, you're gonna
Yeah.
cheat for an uglier girl? Come on.
Yeah, for a bust down.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That
you know?
kind of
Okay,
happens
so-
a lot too.
Okay, AJ, what are your thoughts on the topic?
Oh, I've seen girls, get the 35-year-old Chad with the old baby trap. Was it Akbar? It's a trap. You know what I mean? Like that's since the beginning of time. Homegirl, hits like 35. She's been ran through, and then she just all of a sudden messes up on her birth control. Managed to be on her birth control from 16 to 34. You know what I mean? Going through trains of dudes, and then all of a sudden has a baby. And that's the one thing that guys that no matter what, most men can get shamed into doing is doing the right thing.
Do the right thing. Make an honest
Marrying
woman
the
out of
chick.
her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
here.
'cause you can train any woman. Like if you are an alpha enough, train her. Like literally tame her like she's a wild horse. That's what my husband did to me. He had to get all the bitchiness out of me. Like I'm a bitch online because he says I can be, but in the home, that does not fly whatsoever.
No, I say
I
if a
think-
chick tries to make you a parent against your will, all she needs to get from you is direct deposit. Straight up, dude. Nope. It ain't happening.
And this is how women gain power. It's through sex. Like men will slip up, hook up with a girl, and that's how women gain power. That's why the richest women in the world are freaking rich from divorce. Like men, I mean, I don't like to tell men what to do, but they got to stop giving these bitches and hoes so much power because that's
Well,
like,
that's what they have to
seriously.
start prioritizing.
Well, bring on the AI sex robot.
Vagina.
Hey, Gary,
Yeah.
you said you got some disagreements. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So what have you? It's not really. It's more based on just what your personal experience has been. So feel free. Go ahead.
Okay, so specifically about the Hoe Phase having positive benefits for a woman, I think it's being presented in too much of an extreme. Like to say a hoe, I think there's really the downsides of being a hoe are still what they are. Like I think that women that don't put out at all, you're absolutely right. They're gonna have a hard time locking down any guy of value because the majority of guys outside of super religious guys, they're going to want to get laid. But specifically in my own experience, I feel like some of those examples you were giving, those even come from like even Charlie Kirk or your mom. These are like late stage millennials, and then your mom's probably Gen X. Whereas nowadays with like social media and the access, like, let me just put it this way: the majority of girls I date, like, I stay away from 9s and 10s. I'll date girls that are like 7 or go out on dates with 7, and like 70% of the women that I see have like quote unquote dated like a professional athlete or a musician or something. So I mean, when that gets thrown into the mix of like the whole phase, like they're not going to like regain those heights as far as like when some guy actually does settle down with them, they're gonna be miserable.
I'm gonna cut you for 1 second. So you said what percent of women have dated an athlete or something?
Like 70% of the girls I go out with.
Really?
Like,
Wait, hold on, guys. Wait. So what looks level are they, would you say?
They're like 7, maybe 8. Like I said, I don't go after 9s and 10s because it's like it's just too much effort. But
Gary, where do you live?
Wait, guys, wait. I'm gonna go back and forth with him, and then you can go.
Yeah.
So the women that you date, what athletes are they dating? Like, have they told you? Are they A-level athletes, B-level, C? I just want to know how cooked we are.
Like literally the majority of them, their names I recognize, and I don't even really follow sports that much anymore. So like pro NFL, like I'll just give you an example. The last 3 I talked to, one of them was active NFL player, retired NBA player, and baseball player also retired.
And how often do they just bring it up first date, or are you asking?
No, like that's more so like if I'm kind of getting to the point of considering them for a relationship, then I will try to have conversations that will help me gather things about their past. Like I'll never ask them about body count or anything like that, but I just kind of ask like, what are some of the experiences they've had that kind of stand out to them, right? And like so many of the times, that's what they're going to.
And how long did they say they dated them for? I'm just curious. Were
Well,
any
the
of
funny
them,
thing is,
public facing, like to the point where they're actually a girl? Or it was just-
absolutely not. Not even one of them.
Like, and how did they meet him? Was it Instagram or what?
Instagram usually, yeah, usually Instagram.
So
and like I said, not one of them, and I know this just from asking questions.
Mhm.
Not one of them was ever claimed by these guys. Some of the relationships were like 3 months up to like one girl telling me it was like a 3-year relationship. But again, this guy's like barely ever in town, and just like based on how much they were seeing each other, like it clearly wasn't actually his girl.
How often on average did they see the girls?
Well, the last girl I was talking to, she said she was in a 3-year relationship with this guy, and she said he was out of town all the time. So there'd be like 2-3 month spans where he wouldn't be in town, and then when he was in town, they'd see each other like 2-3 times in a week, and then maybe one other time for that month, and then he's off.
Was she monogamous to him?
Yeah, a lot of times they are. Because they think that they're like in a talking stage, or sometimes it's like they eventually see it as a situationship. But these guys, this is what they're doing too. They are presenting it as like, hey, I really like you, like I want to see where this goes, but I'm super busy. And,
well, they probably have a girl like that in a bunch of different areas, a bunch of different states. Like, how serious are these relationships? These girls are just like hometown holes for these guys.
100%. And I mean, I always, in my mind, I'm like, I want to tell them that, but it's like, I also want to get what I want. So it's just not beneficial to me to say that. But
what you said you dated like 70% of them are like.
Wait, guys. And so how long does it go until it ends? Like for them usually, like, is it, sorry,
like I said,
who ends it? Do they end up getting ghosted, or how does it end?
So that varies. But honestly, I think the majority of the time it is the woman ending it, because it's just like she clues in and realizes what it really is.
Okay. Wow. And so you'd say 70% of like the 7s or 8s you've gone on dates with.
Yeah. And honestly, like I've talked to other friends who like we are similar attraction level, and like we seem to do around the same success rate. And like my numbers seem high, but then their numbers are pretty similar. Like they are also running into it a lot.
Are you on Twitter by chance? Are you on Twitter?
No, I don't use Twitter. Twitter's
Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
Would you mind? Could you send me? I won't show it, but I just kind of want to see the looks level. Would you show me a picture of a girl? You can unsend it after. You can unsend. I won't screenshot. I just want to see if it's an actual.
You want me to do it right now?
I was wondering the same thing, bro.
Yeah, and I'm a good judge. So
Why, Pearl? Because you think you're a 10. You're so conceited, and oh my gosh,
it's
you
just
own a mirror.
Yeah, it's just Pearly Things official.
Okay, I could probably find 2 of them and send to you.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, just channeling my favorite fellow conservative e-girls that take so much offense whenever Pearl says that women who are 25 look better than 35, and you guys know how these hoes go.
Yeah, or what I call a mid, and they're like, "You're a mid," and I'm like, "I know." That's what it is.
I'm just trying to figure out like where's Gary's market at? Like his market, like where? Because if he's dating these girls, he's saying 70% of them are been with athletes. Are you like an A market? Like
here, but I can tell you, I've lived in like 3 places in the past 5 years. I lived in Toronto, Phoenix, and in the UK.
Okay. So
and you said you don't want to tell these women that this is what's happening because you want to still get with them.
Yeah, and honestly,
why
just hurt their
sabotage?
feelings, and I mean, then it.
I think you should.
One
tell
time
them.
I did
humble
have
them.
the conversation one time, and it
Yeah.
turned into a huge argument because she swore it was something it wasn't. When I was just trying to lay out to her how logically it was unlikely he was just with her.
Well, I mean, it's just like you're a stupid slut that got duped by these guys. You can be like, you don't want to just, I don't know, enable this behavior. I really feel like you gotta just humble these.
if he's
bitches.
trying
Like,
to
you gotta
smash
tear
too,
down their
Why would he?
confidence.
do that?
why would he ruin it if he's trying to smash as well?
Exactly.
He's just trying to add to bodies. He's not trying to wife them. Like,
He's not trying to lead him to Jesus.
But women like guys that they can't have. So if she's thinking,
but he doesn't want her anymore. She said she smashed an athlete. He's done.
Yeah, I'm not trying to live up to that. I mean,
right, yeah.
But he wants he wants the sex, so he's got to.
Hell yeah.
So, okay, did you?
No,
send it on
Isabella, I do
Instagram?
get what you're saying though. Like,
One second,
because
I'm looking you
if
up.
guys were more honest with women in general, and was just like, look, you are just a plaything. You know that, right? You're not anything. You're not a main thing. Nobody's trying to invest in you with a ring. So you're just a plaything. Just understand that you are just a utility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, women have yeah. I mean, you can see how interested a guy is most of the time by how much he sees you.
Oh wait, so
my
Pearl, could you give me
experience.
your Instagram again, please?
Just Pearly Things Official. So JUSTPEARLYTHINGS Official OFFICIAL.
Okay, I found you. I'm sending it now. So I had another thought about something you were talking about earlier, and I agree partially with the panel, but like this idea of like virginity, I'm not somebody that thinks virginity is super important. I mean, ideally, if I was getting married, she would be a virgin, but again, like it's almost like if you wanted to survive on unicorn meat, you're gonna starve, right? There are no unicorns. So ideally that would be the thing. But my thought is, and this is something that, again, we never know what a girl's body count is, but we can get a sense if we're one of the best lays she's ever had. And
That is very true.
She'll stop being enthusiastic about getting with you if you're not one of the best she's had. If you are in like the top 3, very good chance that she's going to continually want to get with you.
Yep.
Yes,
Did you send it? I'm not seeing the message. Did you send it?
No, I got
but you don't want to be one of those simps that's like, oh, you just gotta eat your girl out, and oh my gosh, you gotta just keep like give. That's also, I think, just kind of beta behavior. I mean, not that it means you're a beta, but I'm just like, okay, you can be her best without freaking like kind of humiliating yourself, especially talking about it publicly. Do you guys agree? Like, it's kind of weird when guys talk about that publicly. Like,
there is nothing humiliating about eating box.
That's
I'm
true.
not saying
I
that in itself. I'm saying when guys
I take
like,
pride
talk
in my
about
work.
it
I don't
so
know
much.
about these other dudes, but
Well, like it's like my thing is like every guy should want to be the woman's best sexual experience. If that's not your mindset going into it, then like you're gonna be forgotten. You're gonna be like, oh shit. You're gonna be one of those regrets. Ah, damn it! I wish I didn't get with that guy. Like, the ones that the ladies talk about later on that they. Oh,
that's
can you believe
okay.
what's going
That's
on?
okay.
Yeah,
But when the guys
But it's not
are really,
about her. It's
but
more
when
about you.
When the guys are really good, they get referral punani.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
That's true. And I don't know, like you just want to tell these women, like you got to tame them and they have to teach them that they serve you. And yes, you can be
But
the
why
best
would-
ever,
But
but
Isabella, why would they want to? Like for what? You know what I mean?
I
It's
think
like,
women
what
want what they can't have. I think that's why you see a lot of women
I know,
initiating
but
divorce and
I know,
grasping
but
free marriage.
the men, it's like they don't want to do all that. Like if she's
Yeah, I mean,
getting
it depends. If you
athlete,
want to
she's
be,
done, what's he gonna do? You
yeah, I
know?
guess it's like if you're
If
trying to
she's
find
not-
a wife
if
versus
she-
just a hookup, which I condemn hookups. I'm a Christian. Okay, I don't do it, but people still do it.
I'm sorry. I
Christians
just say, like,
hookups
you know
too.
what?
Of course.
I just say, you know, every time if you
God
hook up with
commanded
any
Abraham
girl,
to be a baby
you
daddy.
want to bring your A game. Okay, you want them to be like you're the drug that they're addicted to. Okay, you want them to be sprung on you, and if you're not laying that down like that, then you suck. You're
All right.
mid.
And if
Pearl,
you're sitting,
real quick.
if you're going into this thinking about her exes and wondering if,
Exactly.
I mean, like your head is in the wrong spot, you're gonna
Exactly.
suck. And
Pearl, real quick, my daughter needs me, but my husband will do a much better job. He's gonna infiltrate, and we're gonna switch
Sure.
real quick.
Sure. Thanks for coming
having me
on.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Nice talking
Bye.
to you.
Take it easy.
I'm still. Did you send it yet?
You know what? I just sent it to you, but it looks like that's the wrong account. One second.
Okay,
It's tough
what's
'cause I can't copy and
put
paste.
put your Instagram in the chat. I can follow you on it.
In the private chat.
Yeah. And then you'll know it's me.
And what is that? A Harley? What Harley is that?
No, it's a Kawasaki Ninja.
Really? So
I thought you were cool. No, I'm kidding.
what percent of women would you say it would be A-level athletes that they've like spoken to? And oh my
I'd
gosh,
say 50% of the women that mentioned athletes, they were A-level athletes.
and did you ever see it go down in looks level, like I don't know, to 5s and 6s?
No, I've never met a 5 or a 6 that was getting with an athlete. And to be honest, though, it's almost like if I was getting with a 5 or a 6, we probably wouldn't get far enough where I would even care about her history.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. I think.
How do I copy somebody's at? Because I keep trying to type
Just
this.
take a screenshot of a picture of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
And then just send it. I just want to see the looks.
Because I
level.
found you, and I found her, so I can let me go to her profile.
Okay.
I'll
And
try to
would you
be
put-
fair.
Would
to
you
her.
tell me what
Take-
athlete it was too? You can unsend it later or whatever. Like I'm not. I just want to see.
I will. Yeah.
I want to see like the pairings.
It's shocking. Because to me, most of the time when they say it to me, I'm like, I can't believe this. Like, she's not bad looking, but how? Okay, screenshotted. Sending it to you now. And yeah, I'll put the name of the guy.
Well, are
in
you
there.
the cap? Let's see. Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. I can't
All right,
believe
bro.
that.
Who is it?
What?
That's the name. You see the name?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, she's from New York, and she worked at some fancy
How old is she
wine
now?
bar. She's 30 now,
Is
and he's retired.
isn't he married?
He is married now. Yeah.
Oh, but
Oh,
you're
so
saying
he
back
plays the side piece role.
It was pre. No. Again, like it was pre their marriage. I'm pretty sure based on the timeline.
So now, I
don't
believe
think so.
Shaq.
I don't think so because
I mean, it could be, but just don't say it. I don't know.
I won't. I won't.
Like, is it like so? Shaq admitted that he has like 4 women that he has living.
2016. So that was like.
Oh wow, then for sure. Yeah, it was only like 3 or 4 years ago. She said.
Hold on, I can't say because it'll.
And honestly, that same guy, I have a friend that here in Phoenix that's from New York, and he would tell me he's one of the people that I would confer about this the most with, and he told me that a lot of the girls he got with in New York were that guy's seconds.
No, that guy got with so many like if you've seen his wife, I've known of his wife forever because of what I sent you, and like she's beautiful, but he had like a string of just 8+ women that he dated that were just like stunning.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he
like,
was.
he
he's
dated
known
all.
for that.
Yeah, it was like a generational run. So, did you meet the girl recently?
Yeah, I met her just at the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I just stole this from Isabella. She's dealing with Brianna. I hope you don't mind, Pearl.
No, I don't mind at all. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Oompaville, that chick's husband. No, I wish I was Oompaville. Fun fact though, Oompaville is a Chad and a right winger. That's just in the chat. Sorry. What are you guys talking about?
So we're talking about what women got the best outcomes in dating the most popular and most attractive men, because in girl world that's winning. So because women only pick money when they have to. When women are young, they don't pick money. So what strategies they employed. And I thought of this because Charlie Kirk had a tweet where he quote tweeted a woman saying, sleep around and then find a guy to settle down with. And he said, this is going to leave a lot of women single. And I thought, your wife went to Arizona State University, Charlie. This worked on you. I'm not saying it's a moral thing to do, but you're not going to convince me you were pure if you went to Arizona State. Come on.
I mean, they were doing spring break at Lake Havasu. Let me tell you, they were hoeing out on those boats.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah, Lake
and
Havasu is
she
the
was
spot.
half
Everybody
naked.
knows that.
What?
Lake Havasu is the spot. And
Hell
also,
yeah.
I don't know how in touch you guys are with Christianity, but I could feel a spiritual whoredom whenever I go to ASU. And I get an aroma. I get like an aroma of STDs and just like disgusting.
I agree with you.
So
No, it's a spiritual thing for sure.
It's totally.
I think it turns virgins into hoes. Like you can be the most pure. Like that place will break you if you're a girl.
Well, you know, like Charlie Kirk hates college. He says college is a scam. He tells everybody not to go.
Maybe that's why, because his wife went to that one.
Who knows, dude? This could be a multifaceted thing with Charlie.
Well, because my point isn't what's moral, but I'm like, I think a lot of women do that and it works. Like, I don't think you can say that doesn't work.
Yeah, it really comes down to, you know, I was a virgin till marriage. Isabella was not. But it really comes down to not giving a fuck. I mean, like, it's always like, obviously, if Isabella's body count was super high, I wouldn't go for it. But it's like, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me. You're not the main character. I am. And if you don't think I'm the main character and it's about you, then like, get the fuck out of here. You know, so ultimately it's kind of like the blacks do this really well when they have the stay toxic and they like, you know, they get on Instagram and stuff and they're like, stay toxic king, like go fuck your best friend or whatever. You know, it's not necessarily just that. It's just like a mindset of like
nobody else
Shut up.
matters. It's just you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's your world. It's like you are now in my world, not I'm in your world.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta push back a bit because I think that if you're not actually one of the best that she's had, you can go ahead and like boss up all you want. She's gonna look at you like a clown.
Well, yeah, that's right. But you have to be the guy though.
You have to be the guy. Yeah. And you have to know if you're the guy and kind of just like move on to something else.
You just gotta not even worry about that. You'll never know what it's like to take the dicks she's taken, but you're the one that she's fucking now, so you can assume that you're the best.
Well, like I said, you'll
Right.
know based on how
She treats
enthusiastic
you.
she is. Yeah, if she's
Well, it's
enthusiastic,
how
then
she
you know
treats
you're
you.
the guy.
And
that's
to
why I've
women,
said numerous times. It's less about the body count. It's more about how does she treat you.
Yeah, exactly. And women are hypergamous. It would be silly if you didn't think so. So, I mean, keeping your abstinence and abstaining from having sex with her until marriage is something that she's just going to run to. She's going to want that because every single guy in the past is, if she wanted them, she could get them. It automatically makes you a one percenter. And you seem unattainable. And women just love that.
They do?
Oh, you guys don't
Yeah,
agree
bro,
with
you're
that
wrong.
women are
Yeah,
hypergamous?
I gotta disagree. I mean, I've never.
Yeah, you're wrong, bro.
It's been a long time since I
Big
was a
time.
virgin, but I don't.
No,
remember
I would say I think that it works for certain guys that already have all the other Chad-like features or Chad-like status, and it works for those guys because, like I said, my friend Mike Mulvaney, one of the Iron Disciples out of Florida, he's in his 30s, single, and he's dated girls that were on Access Vegas that were models and stuff like that, and he wouldn't not end up giving the D because he said like they weren't worth my D. You know, they weren't worthy of it. So I was like,
Yeah,
all
some
right,
high
man.
value cock. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like my cock is way too valuable.
Yeah, I think men have low self-esteems a lot of times, and so they just put out and they don't really take sex seriously. And I understand why they wouldn't. But at the end of the day, if you're not a guy who's doing calculations in your head and thinking to yourself, like, if I get her pregnant, you know, what does this look like? What does my child look like? What does our future, our family look like? If you're not making those calculations, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. It's not virtuous.
Yeah.
It's
Not every woman is worthy of like carrying your legacy, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah. And I grew up in a broken home. Like I didn't have my biological father around and stuff like that. That's like the last thing I want to repeat is this generational kind of curse of broken homes and just a lack of a strong father figure. So that's what's always been important.
Hey, bro,
to
what
me.
if I told you that it's not up to you?
Hey, what if I told you were fucking gay?
Who's it up to?
It's not up to you, bro.
Who's it up to?
You think that it's up to you, but it's not. She has control over you because you've
She doesn't.
submitted to her.
No.
Oh, the
you're
law
so
says
wrong.
that she does, though.
No.
How
not
does she have or she have
What do you
control
mean?
over him?
Once
She
the
has
baby's
control over him
Because the
sexually.
contract favors her.
Once the baby's
She's
born,
saying that you can't sleep around with other women.
Who said that
She
she
has
said
control
that?
over you.
Yeah,
who?
did you say that?
The contract says it.
What
Yeah,
contract?
the contract
Wait,
says
marriage.
that you can't sleep with other women,
guys-
but she can leave you at any time that she wants, brother.
You can leave her
It's
at
not
any
up
time.
to you. You have no
Yeah,
control.
it's gonna
You
cost her.
submitted
marriage
to her.
It's gonna
contracts
benefit her.
work the same in both directions.
Okay. Hey,
No,
they
if
don't.
you have the exact
What?
same,
Have you been married?
value, I guess, or worse.
No, and I never will
I
get
have.
married because I'm not stupid.
I have.
I'm
and
not
I've been
dumb.
divorced, and I can
I'm
tell
not
you
a
they work the
retard.
same in both directions.
I'm not this
And I've got
idealistic
custody of my daughter. I've had
idiot.
custody since she was 2. So
W.
all your yapping and all your victim
But
bullshit,
that's
you
not the
don't
way.
know what you're talking about. You're just coping for being a fucking loser.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it is, brother. That's what it
Okay,
is.
That is
yeah,
what
we
it
know
is.
that's what it is. We know that.
Just because I'm not married, I'm a loser. See, that's
No, it's
that's
because
why
you talk
guys
like a
get
loser.
wrecked.
You act
guys
like a
get
loser
wrecked
right now.
so
We can all
hard
see
There's
by
by
nothing we
women,
can
bro.
do. Oh my gosh, women
We're
own
the
us.
victims. We're victims.
I
We
don't
like
think he
men
said
now.
that.
We're gay.
How are you already a
Well,
victim
when
when
you
you
say-
haven't even had a bad divorce?
When you say that
What are
you're
you
women
talking
own
about?
you,
You have to go through a divorce.
You're a
You can't just
pre-victim.
see other people. You can't just look and use your eyes and use your brain.
Guys.
hold on, let me.
It-
guys, you have to be
Come on, just real fast.
Stupid.
Real fast. Like the thing with divorce is, because here's the thing: with red pill channels, we can say, guys, don't get married, don't get married. In our lifetime, most guys are still gonna get married and they're still gonna have kids. It's just the biggest part about it is, you know what could happen, and if you make a decision, don't bitch and complain if it doesn't work out well. There isn't risk. There's no reward without risk. If that's what you choose to do. My biggest problem is guys who go into marriage and then their wife leaves or they get screwed over and they act shocked. Men, we can get divorced. We can bounce back. I've been married before. I've been divorced. I can afford another divorce if I choose to get married again. Understand what I'm saying? So, like,
Exactly.
here's the thing. Marriage is just, if you decide to get married, which most guys will, there's no excuse for you to be like, I can't believe she did that. Why not? There are
Well, here's the
happily
other thing,
married
there's
men out
ways to-
there. There are men who get screwed. Just make sure that you count for all the variables if you choose to do it. That's all I'm saying.
But there's ways that Doug, there's ways to maneuver things to where that you mitigate the risks.
I
Like,
agree.
like put all your assets in a trust before you even get married. All right, an irrevocable trust, and then get an LLC and then pay yourself from the LLC. Now, the business owns your finances. The trust is secure. All your assets are secure in the trust. So then you get divorced. Oh well, what is she getting?
I want to give, because David hasn't really had a lot of time to talk, so I wanted to give him a little more time to finish his thought. Go ahead.
I just think if you care about body count, you're like, you shouldn't even care because they're all hoes. All women are hoes, bro. And like a good example is bro who's married up here. Like, bro, you're married. Another man
Literally
had your
repeating
woman
Isabel's
before
talking
you.
points. She already
You're
said
literally
that.
a cuck,
Yes.
brother. You're a cuckold.
Okay,
You
let's
got
And
cucked.
I've
Hold
had
on.
I've had other women before her.
So like,
what
how
is,
that a
what is
cuck?
your plan?
No,
What is
I'm
your
talking
plan?
about dude who was a virgin. Dude who's a virgin
him?
until
Yeah.
marriage, and then
Mm-hmm.
he got with a woman who had other men before him, and he's
how
like,
did that make
"Oh,
him
I'm
a
a
cuck?
winner."
How does that make
Bro,
him a
you're
cuck,
not a
though?
winner. You're a cuckold, bro. Dudes like
How
me
is that
laugh
making
at
him
you,
a cuck?
bro.
So you're gonna be
I would
forever
laugh at
alone.
you.
I want to know. I want to know.
You can keep
guy on the
laughing.
bottom,
I'm
like,
laughing
how does
right
that
back.
make
I'm gonna
him a
keep
cuck,
laughing.
though?
Let's talk about like name call. I just,
Okay,
you know,
keep laughing.
I just want to know, like, how, by what definition does that make him a cuck?
Is it too soon to
Because
ask who hurt
another
you?
man was inside his woman before he was.
But you said all women are hoes, right? So then, therefore, you
Yes.
should always assume that there's always been another penis inside her,
Right.
and now there's no more penis inside her but yours. So how does that a cuck? Because a cuckold is somebody that's raising a child that's not his under the impression that it is his. So how is he a cuck?
He's a cuck because another man had his woman before he
So
did.
if he should have only married a virgin. So any guy that got with the
He
girl
shouldn't have
that's
gotten
not a
married at
virgin-
all, bro. We don't. I don't tell guys to get married. I tell
But then you
guys to
sleep
stay away
with
from
you
that
sleep
shit.
with girls. Do you sleep with guys or girls? And if you sleep with girls, do you sleep with girls who are virgins or who aren't virgins? And if they're not a virgin, do you kiss
Why do
girls
you
who sucked
care? Why
another
does it
man's dick
matter?
or not?
Why does
Because
it? What
your
difference
cuck
does it
logic,
make?
your cuck logic makes you a cuck too.
No, it
Very much
doesn't.
so.
I'm not
Yeah, it
married.
does.
I'm not taking care
Have you
of a
kissed a
woman
girl
who's
who
had
has sucked
other
a cock?
men. I'm not taking care of a
Ew,
woman's
you got dick
children.
breath, bro.
Bro,
She's
you
had
literally
other dudes
kissed a
inside her.
girl who sucked another man. Oh my gosh.
That means
By
you
your
sucked a
logic of
dick.
cuckery, everybody is always going to be a cuck.
No, sir, that's wrong because I'm not taking care of this woman. I might
You're,
sleep with
you're,
her,
you're
sure.
appealing to her to get her in bed with you. So then you are.
No, I'm
seem
not.
like you've slept
No,
with
I'm not.
anybody in a
That's
while.
your
You've got that-
strategy, brother. That's
Well,
your strategy. I don't
said
appeal
who?
to women to get
Bro,
them to
you
sleep
said-
with me, bro. I don't need to do
This
that.
is such low IQ bullshit. You said that if another man's penis has been inside of your girl,
Yes.
you're a cuck. That was your logic.
Yes.
And then
If you
said,
marry
but-
her, if you
wait,
marry her,
but I don't
you
take care of
married
her.
her.
I don't take care of her. I don't give her anything
You
in
do
return.
take care of her.
I
You
just
take care of
use
this
her.
woman.
So I'm the real winner. You're not. You're not the real winner. You're still
If you're
a
not
cuck.
taking care of your wife, then why are you even married? That's a logical fallacy right there. That makes no
Exactly.
sense.
You're proving my point for me.
Yeah.
Like you're literally proving my point for me. You're taking care of a woman who's had
So
other
what is your
men.
strategy now? Are you gonna?
What is my strategy?
Yeah,
I don't,
going forward,
what-
looking at
what
the rest of your
difference
life,
does it
are you
make,
gonna
bro? Why do you
cuck up
care
or are
about
you gonna?
me so much? This isn't
I'm
about
curious
me.
about you.
Because
We're on
you
a
care so
panel. We're
much
talking
about
to each other. I
him.
want to know what your plan is.
What my plan is?
Yeah, what are you gonna
My
do? Are you
plan
gonna
is to
cuck
get
up or are you gonna
fucking
forever
rich.
alone?
That's my plan.
Hmm?
I don't have any other plans outside of that.
I didn't hear what you said.
My plan is to get filthy fucking rich. I don't care about women, bro. I don't try to appeal to women.
And
I don't
what is-
give a
what is
damn
the-
if they sleep
all
with
right,
me.
well,
I don't give a
I'm
damn if
rich,
they
that
want
filthy
one.
rich. Let's say you reach
I
that
don't give a
filthy rich
fuck.
level. What is that? What does that get you? What does the filthy rich get you?
It gives me everything I want, bro. I get a warm bed to sleep in. I get food
Have
in my
fun
fridge.
having
I
sex
get
with
all
your
the shit that I
Ferrari.
need, bro.
All right,
You're
so
a
I have
genetic
all that,
dead
and I
end,
have
bro. You're a
millions. Now
genetic
what?
dead end. Your legacy dies. That's embarrassing.
Because
I
like
can
like
still
All
have
right, let's
children.
let's have
I can
decorum,
still have
guys. Okay,
children,
let's have
buddy.
decorum.
It's
Let's have
okay. His
decorum.
some
Let's have
legacy
decorum
should
I
here.
can still
Everybody
have
should
hold
calm
on,
down.
hold
Let's
on.
have
So-
decorum. Let's have
Hey,
decorum,
Shiv.
bro. Let's have a
Shiv.
little bit of a chill. Yeah, let's have decorum. Go ahead.
Yeah. Shiv,
Bro's just mad.
Yeah.
Shiv, like you're a millionaire.
Yep.
You already hit that goal. You're filthy rich. How does it solve all your problems?
It doesn't. You just have more problems.
Well, I think what he's trying to say though is like you're not in control of your bloodline, because if you have a kid, the odds are your kids aren't going to have kids. Like, because the birth rate's like 1.6 right now, and it's not going to get better. Like, there's people born, I think it was Bach, he had 10 kids. He has no living descendants 200 years later. So you're not even in control of that.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
really
the
like,
woman
I
can
don't
just
really,
take the
I don't,
kids from you at any moment. She can just wake
Yeah,
up one day.
like-
Oh, I don't love him anymore.
yeah.
But but my point is more like
I'm gonna just back him up a little bit here. And the other thing is, it's very much up to the discretion of the judge, because I've had interviews with guys and like, I mean, there's nothing they could do. They got a feminist judge.
You should interview me sometime. I had a fantastic divorce.
Sure.
I'm also confused about this dichotomy.
Is that supposed to
You
be like
gotta
a
get
selling
married
point to
or else
men, my
you're gonna
guy?
be
Is that
alone
supposed to be
forever?
something that like men or
Yeah,
want?
but
to
I
be
mean,
like,
it
oh,
doesn't.
wow.
You could have had a really good divorce, but it doesn't really minimize the guys that like lose their kids every
But my
year.
point,
Like,
is
some
that
guys-
there's always in any divorce there's going to be a loser, and it seems to be the attitude of like douchebags like this that it's always the guy, but it's not always the guy. It's
Majority of the
person
time
who's
it is though.
It is.
Yeah.
No, the whole
I know
point
some
is
guys-
though. The whole point
I know
is
some guys that have gotten destroyed.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah,
I still got
it's a
the
whole
question of
brotherhood
why
out there.
why do we draw this dichotomy of that either you got to get married or you're going to be alone forever? Like,
Yeah,
I've
bro,
been
I
in
hate that
mostly-
shit.
I've been in
Stop
mostly
that shit,
long-term
bro.
relationships,
Okay.
a lot of which have lasted longer than some of my friends' marriages.
So I when I ask about marriage, when I speak about marriage, I guess I'm assuming that long-term life, relationships does count, whether or not you got the piece of paper. In my mind,
That's the way I
LTRs, LTRs, because flow
Right.
is in an LTR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would advise not to get married on paper. Do it through the church, like this dude up here said.
Covenantal marriage.
Have your money in the trust. There was this guy I talked to when I was 15. He was an architect in California, and he told me he got a divorce, and she owed him money, even though he was a well-off architect in LA, because his mom owned his business, and he lowered his pay. And he kept low pay. Listen, guys, there's tons of ways to hide your books. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. This is how you beat the system. And there's a lot of successful men who have done it, and the women can't really touch them and mess with them. It seems like they can, but I've seen a lot of times they can't.
Hey, brother, I'll say this, brother. I'll say this. I kind of feel bad for you because I really predict, I've been quiet overall, Pearl, just listening. I really predict, bro, you're going to have a crash out divorce, man. You're going to be in bad shape in 2-3 years, bro. I feel really bad for you, man. I really, really do. And I'm not joking, man. Based on everything, the way he's talking about, I feel really, Pearl, listen, yeah, I've been quiet, but we're gonna have a really, really bad time, brother. But hey, man, that's your decision. That's what you made.
I'm not your brother.
Hey,
Call me brother.
most men want that. They want to be wrecked. They want
Right.
That's why it takes 2 divorces for them to actually wake up, because they want to be lied to. They want to believe,
I agree.
this woman that's had other dudes before me, she's going to be loyal to me and only love me, especially once I give her the
here's the
sex
thing.
and I give her the kids.
The guy with that, Isabel Louis' husband, you just have to realize that, like, I'm not saying anything bad about your dynamic, but the fact that you were a virgin and your wife wasn't, that's not conventional. So there's always going to be some kind of pushback. I think it's good that because I think that kids should be born in the context of a marriage. I think that you're better to have had a kid in a marriage and gotten divorced. At least you're trying to raise a child in the best context of having children. If I were to, I don't want children, but if I were to ever have children, I would try to get married to have children, at least give that a chance. So, but you have to understand that your dynamic is uncommon and unconventional. I'm not saying it's bad or good, but because everyone knows about the male dating strategy and how men will want to sleep with a bunch of women, but then women want to lock down. It's just that whole dynamic, and your dynamic is just so unconventional. That's what it is. I'm not.
I'm just saying, you can do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do, brother. But don't try to sell that shit to other men. That's where I get pissed off. Is don't try to sell that shit to real dudes like me, because we're not buying.
What makes you a real dude?
You're a real man.
We're not buying it.
Hey, dude, I love.
Hold on, like I will say this, Josiah.
You're a real man.
Josiah,
yeah, I am.
Just like in every relationship, if you are not leveling up, if you're not maintaining that position in your woman's eyes, then yes, you will risk, like any guy would risk her losing interest or losing confidence in him being the best choice. But if you maintain being the best option that she always sees because you're putting in the work, leveling yourself up for you, then your game is good. You're in a much better position than anybody else would be. That's how you look at it. And
all of that's a fallacy. Let me tell you something. If you say, "Oh, you're an alpha, you're this, you're that, you're this and the third,"
who said anything
eventually
about
she gets bored. We all get bored. That's the big thing. It doesn't matter. I mean, you basically saying that you have to do springboards and cartwheels for the rest of your life, man and woman.
Where do you get that?
Who's he listening to?
Okay.
I said if he maintained leveling up for himself, achieving, just keep on moving up, not getting stagnant, not getting complacent, right? If he's putting in the work day in and day out, and she sees that he is the best option that she has every day, then she will have. He has a better odds.
Glenn, he has a better chance, but just in general, like, and
I never said anything was guaranteed. Better odds.
I don't. Okay.
I would say
Hey,
I
Pearl,
agree.
no, wait, we've got to get
Guys,
Pearl,
stop interrupting Pearl, please.
If
Pearl,
you
go
keep
ahead.
really good at this.
Stop interrupting Pearl, everyone. Stop talking. Go ahead.
Okay. Like, because the one thing, Glenn, is pretty much everyone we know, it's like they end up getting divorced. So it's.
Can I make a point? A quick point?
Yeah, you can go in a second, but
Okay.
Sorry, when I get interrupted, I kind of throws with their train of thought. But my whole point is that, like, the rate, it's just not good. Like, most wives get fat. Most of them end up divorcing the husband over a long period of time. And someone said that, like, you can put the woman on alimony but only 10% of alimony goes to women. So it's just not the norm.
Because men make more money.
I mean, that's true. David, go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of guys think that, like, oh, because I'm leveling up, or because I'm making more money, or I'm doing this for her, or I'm placating to her desires and her needs, that she's gonna love me forever if I just keep doing this and that, and I just stay on the hamster wheel. Bro, that's not how it works. It's actually
You made a mistake.
Like,
You made a huge mistake.
Hold on. Let me finish. So women need something to fix. They always look for guys where it's like there's something wrong. Like, we need something. They need something to fix. If you're the perfect guy on paper, you're gonna get raked over the coals, especially in something like marriage, because all you're doing is you're running on a freaking hamster wheel for her, and she sees that every day. And familiarity breeds contempt. So, like, that's what dudes are missing. They think, oh, if I just keep in the gym and I just keep doing this and that, and I keep appealing to her desire, then it's going to work out great for me. That's not how it works, bro. That's not how it works.
Listen, stop. I heard you run your mouth. Your biggest mistake was you said you're doing it for her. I never said.
Glenn, you got to let me run the show. Okay. I love you, but, like, you can't. I was going to give Josiah a chance to talk, and then I was going to let you go. Okay. All right. I'll let you back. Okay. Go ahead.
That's a good point. Familiarity does breed contempt. Something to do, for this is keep on moving around. I think the reason why Isabella and I, for the first 3 years of our marriage so far, it's been pretty smooth, relatively smooth, despite this being kind of like the boxing era. And I think part of the reason why is because we've moved so much. We started out in Dallas, then we moved to Arizona, moved again to another place in Arizona, then lived in DC. Soon we're going to be moving to South Carolina. Like, we're constantly switching up our environments and changing where we're surrounded and who we're with. And that creates there's no familiarity there to some extent, like with our surroundings and our environment, but there's always going to be familiarity. That's that root word, family, too. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's a good point that you do have to take into consideration for sure.
Okay. Glenn, do you want to go? No?
Yeah, I was like saying, like, again, at the end of the day, what he said, you were doing all this placating and leveling up for her. That's not what you should be doing. That's not what you should be doing. The leveling up for yourself, because you should have enough, pride and it's not a cope.
That's a cope.
It's not a cope.
It is.
Whatever you say,
because
it's not a cope.
At the end of the day, guys are controlled by sex. That's what it comes down to.
No.
The
Guys that are
men
weak are controlled
sex.
by sex. Guys that are weak are controlled by sex. Are you saying
There's
that
a
you
lot of
have
weak
no
guys out
sexual
there.
discipline?
There's a lot of weak dudes out there, bro. Have you not taken a look around?
I do know that there's a lot of weak dudes out there. And the weak guys are the ones that say the same thing that you say. But guys that are confident, that know with themselves, that are not weak, they could deny women. You know how many guys deny women because those women he doesn't want to be with them? There's a lot of guys that deny women.
But he's denying women.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying. That's
Because he has
literally
the
point that
option
I'm
to.
making.
Why? Because he's leveled up and he has the option. He can pick and choose who he wants to have in his life.
But you just said that he was weak. What?
No. I said guys that have that mindset that he has are weak. The ones that said they have to placate to women. Yes, that's weak.
But David's been on the show before. Like, I know his background. Like, he's doing very, very well for himself. Dude has a lot of options, but he's not out here committing to these women. He's been on the show before. You don't know him, but I do. And
It's the mindset that is weak. That
No,
mindset.
committing
like, all
mindset.
women are-
That's what messes dudes up is you commit so easily. Okay, like for example, like dude who was virgin before he met his wife, who had other men before him. So how long did you even know her until you got married? Probably less than 2 years, I would bargain.
Can we stop making this personal?
Yeah, I knew her.
But seriously, like it matters. Like you've probably known her for what, like 2 years, bro? You barely know this chick. You
No,
don't even
in
know who
total,
this person
obviously,
is.
since being married, in total, I've known her for about 4.5 years.
Bro, that's nothing, dude. That's
No.
nothing. That's a
Okay.
blink of an eye, bro.
Yeah,
And you're
okay.
signing away your entire life to someone you've known for 4 years. That's crazy to me.
No, like I said, we
I
got
don't
married
care how
through-
well you like.
Yeah,
bro.
like I said, we got
Yeah,
married.
you get
through
married
church.
through the state.
I'm
You got
gonna
married through the
I'm gonna let Joe stop. I'm gonna let him go. So go ahead.
Yeah, we got married through the church. There's no legal documentation. Isabella also has signed contracts and everything like that. People can say that they might not hold up in court or whatever, but she's told me that she's, submitted to me and that she's going to stay with me for the rest of my life. And listen, bro, you can say that doesn't mean shit. Hey, it's a mindset. You have to be walking in that mindset. You have to be disciplined. The other thing is too, right? I'm guessing you're not a Christian, but in the Bible, whenever you believe in the Bible, it says all things in Christ are a new creation. I really like that because Isabella has a past. And guess what? When she became a Christian, we got married. And now she's a new creation in Christ. Not everybody believes that. It's okay. They don't have to. But that's something that I abide by. And it makes it much easier because it's not like I really have to care about who she was before. It's like our life has started now, And hey, you guys are going to say this is all going to fuck me over. We'll see. I don't really.
I hope it doesn't, bro. I honestly
appreciate that.
hope you have a great marriage, but like the odds aren't in your favor and the odds aren't in my favor. The odds aren't in any man's favor. So like, why would you encourage men to like do these types of things? Like what you should be doing instead is encouraging them to like spend time with these women and actually vet them. But we don't ever talk about vetting women ever.
And also remember, like I said before, men, we are creatures of action. Okay, if a guy is gonna shoot, Pro says it all the time. You can't stop a simp from simping. I'm not calling you a simp. What I'm saying is
that's true.
If a guy wants to get married, he's going to do it, and you can't stop him. Okay.
Yep.
If Josiah is aware of the risks involved and he's calculated it, well then I'm fine with it. I just don't like when guys make this decision and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe blah blah blah." Guys, the information is out there. Men are gonna act no matter what. If Josiah has calculated the risk, he has his family, and he can get ready for what comes. Well, then more power to him.
And that's the solution. The real solution. One is not to live in fear of women, but put yourself in the position to where that if you choose to take the risk and you take an L, that you are fine. It's not that big of a loss because you put yourself in a position to where that you are not dependent upon, whether or not she stays or not. That's the whole point of leveling up, to where you could take these risks and it not be such a detrimental, hit that you're going to suffer from.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't matter, then why make the commitment anyways? Like why
If
do
you
that?
have,
It's
I think
it's just for her.
I say if you're not a Christian or you don't have a religious faith, then don't get married. But if you're going to get married, make sure that it's because you do this for your religious faith. And then
so
don't
we're
do
trying
it
to
through
please
the state.
God now. We're trying to please God instead of pleasing women.
For many people in religion, like marriage is a sacrament for them, so that's why they would.
Glenn, we've been going for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, so we're gonna wrap the show up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, it was cool talking to y'all.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming on, guys. But I had to drop like half the panel. There was just too many voices. But I appreciate the back and forth. If you guys want to plug your channels, go ahead.
Not Glenn Lawrence. Just find me at Glenn Lawrence Presents. David, I would love to actually have a conversation, have this back and forth with you, continue later on sometime, because I find it interesting.
Bro, I've got the newest ideas on all this relationship stuff because I come from a different era, but I'm also Gen Z. Like I'm 28, so but I also grew up in an era where there wasn't technology, there wasn't I have seen both sides of it, and bro, the amount of just cognitive dissonance that I see with men today is just mind blowing. Like it literally stresses me out, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Well-
Come by my channel. We'd love to have you on sometime. Thank you, Pearl, for having me on.
Thanks.
Josiah, pleasure meeting you. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks for
Okay.
coming on. Josiah, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Pearl. Thanks for having on Isabella, of course.
Isabella's great,
I'm
man.
not gonna plug, but Pearl, I want the rating. You have to rate me and Isabella's marriage. Where do you is it gonna work out? Is it not? Give it your rate.
Ooh.
You gotta be careful.
No, you got to
The
be
fact
honest.
that you're even asking that question is
I
concerning.
would say
Because I
I
respect
I
Pearl.
like Isabella, but if I had to go on the patterns, usually virgin guy, non-virgin woman, it predicts divorce.
Okay.
If I had to go on the patterns. I do like Isabella, so I hope you guys.
Yeah, Isabella's great.
I
Tell her
think
to
you
keep
guys
coming
are.
on.
I think you guys are a good-looking couple. You're cute together, but yeah, I predict divorce for like 90% of people, so I'd probably predict that for you guys too.
Awesome. All right. See you guys.
You said awesome.
That's what they want, Pearl. They want to be wrecked. Like that's what I'm starting to realize is like these guys want to be wrecked. They want it.
I think some of them it's just like they see the risk and they just want to try it.
Yeah.
They want to be
And-
married. They want to, you know what I mean? It's just like I don't even think you're necessarily like dumb for giving it a go. I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, some guys it's like their religion, you know, it's important to them.
Yeah.
I don't personally like see the difference. I think it's just a title, like your actions speak louder, but yeah.
Yeah. And David, you gotta as you get older, because how old are you? You're 28, right? Like you're gonna see a lot of guys, even your friends. I'm never getting married. Like right around 30, 35, between the family pressure, the religious pressure. I want to have a family. You're gonna see about 50% of your friends get married, dude. Like
Dude, my parents want me to get married.
You can't.
My
stop
parents
them.
are like pushing it on me, and I'm like, no,
because
absolutely not.
I recommend men don't get married, but like most of my friends have been. So just make sure that you're there for them when it all falls apart. And in divorce, men make more money and gain more worth. Women don't, and that's it.
Yeah, and I don't even mean to come down on dude too hard. It's just like, bro, like that's the only way I see like getting through to people is being like, bro, do you really think you won by getting with a girl who's had other men before you and you haven't even like, but I digress.
We'll wrap it up. So
Okay, Black Ice. My wife is a female version of Andrew Wilson, and I'm an atheist. We have been married for 16 years with 3 daughters. The wife is from Russia. I'm from New York. She's also 8 years younger, 43 and 35. Peter Paul. All what paths with women would advise your sons. I should have said it's also going to depend how well he does in his career if the divorce comes. So I would say. Okay, well, thanks for coming on again. I appreciate it.
yeah, come on anytime, David. You're awesome.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to moderate these a little better. My voice is just not deeper than 10 men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see why it'd be hard.
Okay, thanks for coming on. Well, final thoughts, Doug MPA. That took a left turn at the end.
Yeah, you know, I always say so. I think that women need to have a hoe phase because the type of guys that they're gonna want to be with ain't waiting for sex, so they should keep it quiet and freaking throw it back to the guys that they want, because eventually one's gonna pick them. And guys, I say don't get married, but once again, most guys are gonna get married because men are creatures of action. But guys, don't be one of those guys where most of you guys are gonna get divorced, and I don't want to see you in the front camera of your car, of your phone in your car, crying to TikTok or Instagram. You know exactly what's gonna happen if you choose to get married. I say don't do it, but too many of you are.
I mean, I'd say if you're gonna hoe, try to hoe for your husband. But most women aren't gonna have a 100% callback rate, so it's probably gonna turn into a hoe phase. Depending on what you consider a hoe phase. If you're pretty hot, maybe you could wait till marriage, but if you're not, I don't think most men are gonna buy. Shiv, do you want to have any final advice for people? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, like I think every guy just has to know what risk they're going into. And if you're willing to take the risk, I think Doug said it best. Like, you just don't get to complain. The only reason why we bring up red pill stuff is giving guys all the information and presenting a real honest look of what you're getting yourself into. And if you want to do it, do it. But then don't be surprised later if the odds don't go in your favor. Right.
Yep. There you go.
That's simple.
Yeah. Make sure you can afford a divorce if you get married. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.